faces light. He's reading from a manuscript of scientific lore. Throw away the rest, but you don't need it anymore. Tree crusher, the lord of non-belief. If you can't prove it, no one can get ready for the brief. A dedicated skeptic, we all know what that means. He's lurking in the shadows and crushing all your dreams.
Don't believe in aliens, they're never going to land. Don't believe in cryptids, they leave footprints in the sand. Don't believe in spirits appearing from the dead. The only demons out there are living in your head. Dream crusher, the Lord of non-belief. If you can't prove it, no one can get ready for the brief. A dedicated skeptic, we all know what that means. He's lurking in the shadows and crushing all your dreams. Dream crusher, the Lord of non-belief. If you can't prove it, no one can get ready for the brief. A dedicated skeptic, we all know what that means.
It's Friday night! I bet that was loud. Hope you didn't have earplugs in. Because that was loud. But I'm excited. I'm happy. Woo! Oh, boy. Tonight. Hopefully we'll have a good show tonight. I'm looking forward to it. I think we will. I'm revved up. I'm ready to go. Divine Donna is not in the house tonight. She is on vacay down in the Pennsylvania area. In the background, we have Tim Vickers, who is filling in. He is the moderator tonight. He's looking out for all you people out there causing trouble. He's going to encourage most of it. But if you get it way out of hand, then he's going to boot your ass. Don't get vickered. Woo! We were talking before the show on a topic that we will be discussing on a future Three Tortured Souls show, and it was getting me angry, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm just dropping that little teaser. Let's say hi to some people before I get into the rules. Let's see. We got so many people here. Oh my goodness. This is awesome. I love it. Autumn Sword is in the house. Abs is in the house. Cat Mac. It's date night. What's up? Tina JT. Giselle. Am I saying that right? I think I've asked that before. Giselle. I think that's a really cool name. I like that. Dr. Deb. Chris Williams is in the house. Jillian Daniels. Julie R. Can he remind me of a skinny John Goodman? I'm not sure how to take that. I'm not sure. Hey, Daniel Reed. Dawn of the Dead is in the house. Macy Rose. Melissa Kennedy. Tim Vickers is in the house. Stay tuned, CC. Wayne Dawson. Jade Kitten. Horror Lady. Horror Lady. My Philly accent is having trouble saying horror. Horror? Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Joe Downey's in the house. We got Chris Slike. We got lots and lots of people. This is awesome. I love seeing everyone show up. I love that you guys hang out with me on a Friday night, especially when it is... Hold on. I wasn't ready for this. Especially when it's open mic night. I love doing that. But first, we need to go over the rules because that's important. We need some rules. All these rules right here. Rule number 1 is that you are welcome to ask questions. That's what this show is about, especially tonight when it's open mic night. That's all we do. If you don't have any questions, we don't have a show. Rule number 2 is that I don't know everything. I mean, straight up, I don't have Donna to bicker with because she'll usually, I'll say, I don't know everything. And she'll be over there going, Yep, that's true. We all know that. Don't I know it? Something like that, but it's cute. But I don't know everything. And if I don't have an answer to your question, we'll look it up. I'll either write it down in my handy dandy notebook, which is right in front of me, because I have notes on there today. Or we will share the screen and we'll figure it out together, which I love to do. I love that. Rule number 3 is that we follow the Patrick Swayze rule here, and that's be nice. You can be in the chat room and you can discuss things. You can agree, you can disagree, you can debate. Just don't devolve into name calling. We don't tolerate that here, and we will kick you out. The bouncer tonight, Tim Vickers, will boot your ass. And trust me, he has no clue how to get you back, which is fine. That's all good because you get booted. I mean, it's for a good reason. Rule number 4, if you do have a question, please do me a favor. Put a capital Q in front of it. That way it helps Tim in the background to pick them out from the rest of the chat. And then we can try to get to as many as possible. With that said, rule number 5, my favorite rule. This is my Vegas cup. Unfortunately, it had a not so happy run-in with the dishwasher because it's not dishwasher safe. It used to be a very shiny scene, panoramic scene of Las Vegas because that's where our SciCon conference is. But the dishwasher kicked its ass. And it's still shiny. It's just lost a lot of the color. So drink up, my friends, and let's go back to open mic night. I just like saying that. That's so much fun. Oh my goodness. So again, if you guys have questions or statements, if you have a topic, please do me a favor. Yeah, throw it in the chat room. Oh my goodness. I was way behind in the chat there. So a few things before we get into the questions. I have wait, I have a video for this. Hold on. I got to play this. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So what did I learn last week? Last week, somebody asked, and I don't remember who, because I didn't write that down, but somebody asked about EMF meter moving on its own. There was a video, some kind of video discussion, I think with Josh from Paranormal Seekers, and then Crow of Judas, and then also Beardo did a video on this. Apparently there was a famous YouTuber that had an EMF detector, a K2 meter that was moving on its own. So I did go in this morning. I went searching around and I did find Crow and Josh did a live and where they talked about it and they were going through it. And I saw the movement of the K2 meter, and it's, do I have it here? Oh, I have it. I had one somewhere. I have this one. Oh, there it is. So it was a black one of these, and it moved across a chair, on the seat cushion and stuff like that. And it was interesting, but I recognized the movement right away, and I was able to recreate it. And I sent him some footage. I did talk to Crow on the phone earlier, like this afternoon. We talked and we went through it. I told him what I did and how I did it. And I showed him video that is pretty damn awesome. Actually, you know what? Where is it? Because I think I can. Oh, wait, video file. Can I do that? I haven't done that before, where I've actually just shared a video file from my computer. I know I shared screens, but if I can bring this up, I want to show you guys because it was fun. Let's see, is that it? No, that's not it. I don't want to do that one because that's a long one. Actually, I think I can show a little bit of this. Maybe that's 50. That's long. I gotta show you. Because it's interesting, and you'll know what I'm talking about because now I'm just babbling because I'm trying to stall because I'm like, oh shit, I did this without thinking, and let me see what happens when I do this because if not, I'll just play it. We'll figure it out. Oh,
so I got it to move backwards. I wonder if it'll stand up on its own. Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
It stands up. What? What is that? How is that happening? Ooh. Ah, string broke.
All right, let me see. Oh, how do I stop sharing now? I haven't done this before. Oh, remove. There we go. Ooh, I haven't done that. I haven't shared a video that's like that before. That was cool. So that's what I put out. That's what I shared. I think I shared part of that with Crow and just showed him that I was able to do that. And basically, I used a magician's line. I'm hesitating because where'd it go? There it is. Because I did a whole video that'll be I'm going to put out next week. So where I did much more, I went in more in depth about it and I showed you how I did it. But this is magician's string. So there is, let's see, there's thread. So this is thread. I just wanted to show this on camera so you can see this. And I think you should be able to see that in front of my face. I'll put it there a little closer. You can see that. Thicker, much thicker. This, I'm trying to find it, is magician's thread. And it is very, 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 oh, you can't even see it. Wow, Jesus. There. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera. Oh, wait. It's right there in the middle. Wait. That one. Ah, it's going down just the middle of it. But it is so thin. Let me see if I can do it better like this. I should put the white part in front. There you go. There you go. You should be able to see that. It looks like a hair. So you should be able to see that. No, can't see it. Hopefully you guys can barely see it. Okay, you're barely seeing it. So yeah, this is strong enough that it is, I think it's actually still on here. A little piece is still on here. Yeah, it is. So watch this. Ready? Look at that. You can't even see it. And I have two lights directly on me and it's still gone. That's pretty cool. So yeah, you can do this, and especially because there was a chair. You know what? I'm going to show you. This is going to be weird because I don't usually do this. So you see this chair and see the material. So it's not just one solid color. It is a mishmash of different shades of the same color. And once you have that, that's the type of chair that it was on, like something with a bottom like that. And when you have that, this thread, I mean, you guys saw it, like it was barely visible on camera. You put it on that, you can't see it at all. I don't care what you do. You can have a spotlight on your camera shining down on it. You're not going to see it because it's just invisible. It's so cool. So with that, that's what I think the solution is. And I definitely think the one, because there was two guys, I definitely think one guy had it because there's two camera views. The second camera view has the first guy in view the whole time. So I'm pretty sure it's the second guy that's doing it. But anyway, I wanted to get that out there. How is the string attached? Good question. So I took it apart because there's two screws in the back. I took it apart. Oh man, I don't know if you can see it. You can't see it. So it goes inside the two halves. I took the back part off and I literally, I'll show you. I'll show you where it is because that's what we do here. We learn together. And it's my show. I can do whatever I want. All right. So, and it's pretty simple. It's two screws. And you might be able to see it. So when I open it up, if you look right in there, there's a piece of tape. And that is holding down the thread. So let me see. You can see the tape pretty easy. And the strand, I had the strand going up through the top. So it's actually, where is it? I can't even see it now. Oh, wait, there it is. It's on the side. So it's so thin that it'll float. like as it's sitting here. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I had it going up from the top here, and that way I could pull it from the top, and it looks like it was sliding across the chair on its own. And it's really interesting because, I mean, at first it almost looks like magnetic, because when you have a magnet and you're trying to move something, it does come up kind of weird. It has a strange kind of movement to it. But when this was moving in this video, and I don't have the original right. Actually, do I? Do I have? Because I can put the video in there and you guys can look at it later. Although I really don't want you to give him any views. So maybe I'll hold off and just wait until you see the original in the video that I did. Or go look on, I think, Crow of Judas. I think it's his site where he had it when he did a live. What was I saying? So yeah, the look of it, in the beginning looked like it had a magnet on the bottom, like somewhere on the bottom of the chair, and it was just moving it like this. But as it moved, it only moved in one direction. It only went to the back of the chair, and even the twists, instead of going straight like this, like a little spaceship, it was twisting like that as it went, just wiggling a little bit. And to me, that's something I call the point of pull. And that's when you attach a line to something. Like if I attach a line like this, I'm holding it like this, and I go to pull it, it twists. And if I go to pull it again, it twists the other way. And that's just the nature of applying a force to an uneven object, because the weight distribution is going to be different. The surface that it's gliding across is different. So it's not going to go in a straight line. It's going to go back and forth a little bit with each tug. So that stood out to me, and I was like, oh yeah, all right, I think I know what this is. And I was able to replicate it, which was fun. It was a lot of fun. The clip that I showed you guys was actually a different clip that I really wanted to show, because I had one that was close up, and I had the light of the camera on, so you could see like the camera light is on. I'm very close. I'm like this close to it, and you still could not see the line at all. I mean, when Crow called, he's like, dude, what did you do? He couldn't see anything. So that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Another thing I wanted to get to was that there was a book somebody recommended. It was called Good Thinking: Why Flawed Logic Puts Us All at Risk and How Critical Thinking Can Save the World, by David R. Grimes. I ordered it. I just wanted to because I forget again who recommended that, because I try to do it quickly when I write the notes down, and I don't always write who suggested what. But I did order that. I wanted to put that out there. It's not just something. It looks like a good book, so I did order it today, so it should be here. I think it said it'll be here Sunday, so I might have something to read next week. Because I have I'm going to a Bigfoot festival next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend. So there won't be a show next week. 99% sure there's not going to be a show next week, but it depends on the campground. We're going to a campground because I don't think they're going to have really good Wi-Fi. So I'm definitely not going to do a show. All right. Taryn's in the house. What's up, fourth tortured soul? All right. So there's one more thing. Somebody mentioned a ghost. I think a ghost hunter, Bruce Durant or Duart or something. I looked it up, and I could only find one video of this guy on some kind of news channel or like a talk show. And it didn't look like a network talk show. It looked like more of a YouTube channel talk show or something like that. I don't know, but he looked like a nice guy, but he also looked like a typical ghost hunter. So I don't know who asked about him, but there you go. I don't know much about him. There wasn't much to find on him, so I can't really go too far with that. And that's everything that I wanted to go into. I do have a topic that I wanted to bitch about, but I can wait till later. If we do, oh, shut up, Joe Vitale. If we have questions, we can start going through them. Oh, does Donna have the Phillies in the background? I don't know. Donna is in Pennsylvania somewhere. She's actually closer to you, Joe. She went down there to hang out with her friend Diana, and they might be watching. but they're supposed to be doing crafts and stuff together. But if the Phillies are on, she's probably not crafting and probably yelling at the TV, depending on how well or bad they're doing. So there you go. Melissa Kennedy, is there anything in the works for a Halloween show? I don't know. Probably not. And I say that because I will be in Vegas right before that. So I think 24th to 27th, I'll be in Vegas for SciCon. So by the time we get back, I don't know. Is what's the Friday before? Let's see. October 31st. Oh, October 31st is a Thursday. So the Friday before, I will be in Vegas. So I don't think there's going to be a show that week. I said this last year, but I'm going to really try to do it this year and do lives from SciCon and maybe stream some things, maybe like a few minutes of a talk or something and give my thoughts on it. Because I think that would be fun just to give like a quick on-site review of some of the lectures, because we have a whole bunch of lectures. I mean, shit, we got Brian Cox, we got Neil deGrasse Tyson, and we got a whole bunch of other people. Melanie Teresa King is going to take the stage. She's going to do a talk. And there's a lot more going on. So that's pretty much all I can say about that. Until I get closer. Who knows? Who knows what might happen? I mean, we're getting close. This is episode 171. I've done 171 of these shows. That's pretty cool. I like that. I got to start thinking about the 200th episode, because I got 29 to go, and that's going to be, when is that? I don't know. Next year. I got time. I'll wait till the last minute. Figure it out, just like we do with 3TS. All right. What else have we got? Kenny, have you watched David Zingen? Oh, Bigfoot Forensics. I have not, Tina JT. What is that? Let's see. David Zig. Zigga. I'm going to start singing the Spice Girls. Bigfoot Forensics. Let me see what this is. Audible books. Bigfoot Forensics. Welcome to the Bigfoot Forensics, the show that utilizes forensic science and the different disciplines within crime scene investigations to study evidence, sightings, and eyewitness testimony concerning Bigfoot. Start from the beginning. You'll be glad you did. Oh, so there's a podcast. It looks like it. All episodes. Listen with Audible. Oh, that's interesting. I'm going to write that down and check it out, because I do have a road trip coming up, especially since I'm going to a Bigfoot event. This would be good to read some of this. Bigfoot Forensics. All right, Forensics. I will. I know I keep repeating stuff, so I have this habit. I don't know if you guys have this issue. Like my issue is, when I transcribe anything, I can look at this and go, all right, Bigfoot Forensics. I will write BIG and then have to look up and make sure that I'm getting the right word. And then I might do like FO and then look up, I'm like Bigfoot. Yeah, it does say Bigfoot. It's so weird. I don't know if anyone does that, or if it's just, me. Anyway, so I will take a listen, and then hopefully, so not next weekend because we won't have a show, but the weekend after, I will have an opinion. So I'm going to put that. Actually, I'm going to put that under my little section that says homework right there. And then we'll get to it. All right, Bigfoot Forensics. I'm going to write it again because I'm an idiot. Anyway. All right. Cree Storm. Do you worry about debunking things? Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta slow down. I am so hyped up. It's almost like I'm on a sugar rush, which isn't really a real thing. Do you worry that debunking brings people to the channels you feel are fake? And how do you balance things so they don't grow as a result? So I know I've seen I've seen other YouTube channels, like in the debunking community, when they review a show, sometimes they're going to say like, hey, go over there, give it a watch, this and that. There's kind of a catch-22 here, because I don't want to send people over, but on the other hand, you have to see the original content, because my content is based off of that. And for you, the viewer, to get the right context, you have to see the original context or original content. Like that's why, like, my TikTok videos, and even when I do YouTube videos, where I'm trying to debunk things, and I'm trying to do more on YouTube on my Center for Inquiry channel, but on YouTube, oh my God, I get all these platforms mixed up. On TikTok, my videos usually start with the original clip. So not the whole clip, especially if they talk a lot like me. I don't include a lot of that. I just include the part that I'm going to recreate. And therefore, if you want to go see it, all the information's there. I'm not going to encourage you to go look at their channel, because again, I don't want to give them views. I don't want to give them that traffic, because it just builds them and motivates them to do more of this bullshit. But again, to be honest and transparent, I have to be able to present to you the original content, so you understand where I'm coming from. So yeah. How do I balance things? I mean, that's pretty much it. I understand the consequences of sending people over there, but again, I want you to have the full story, because so many times, and I've been, I feel weird saying a victim of this. People have done this to me, where they've clipped out certain parts of videos that I've done or podcasts that I've done. They've taken certain clips and played it out of context, and it makes me sound like I'm saying something opposite of what I was. And I don't think that's fair. I mean, I think that's underhanded and unethical and dirty-handed little shit for doing that. Can you tell I'm bitter? So yeah, I think there's a balance where sometimes you just have to send people over, or not. Like, you don't have to outright say, go watch this. You can say, if you want to, the full video or the full content is at this link or in this book. And then it's up to the viewer if they want to or not. So good question, though. I really like that. That was a really good question. Good job. Good job. All right. Red Man, what's up, buddy? What do you mean he looked like a typical ghost hunter? Let's stir it up this. So look like a typical ghost hunter. So what I meant by that is not like a there's not a physical appearance. Let me rephrase it. Good catch on that, though. Let me rephrase it. He behaved like a stereotypical ghost hunter. So when he was asked about why he believes or what he does, he mentioned bringing K2 meter. And he didn't start just by saying it was a K2 meter. He said, we have a spirit meter that is called a K2, and it detects ghosts. And that's what he told the host. He talked about being in a haunted house. He talked about a lot of gadgets that they have. They have a whole bunch of equipment that they use to measure and detect ghosts and capture ghosts and stuff. So it was a very stereotypical behavior that we have seen from your common ghost hunter personality, where they and he also had the slightly inflated ego, where he presented himself as knowing what he's talking about, when from an outsider looking in, knowing what he's actually saying and knowing that he doesn't know what he's talking about. So that was difficult to watch. But again, like, he seemed like a nice guy, and I think he was more based on beliefs and just going from what he knew or what he's been told or what he's read, usually from just strictly paranormal sites. Like, I don't think he actually delved into any science or scientific literature or skeptical literature. I think it's mostly on like one-sided. So But good question. I like that. Call me out. What was that? Tropic Thunder? like, like I feel like that. What do you mean, you people? Like, what do you mean stereotypical ghost hunt? Like, what do you mean typical ghost story? What are you talking about, bitch? Oh man, this is fun. You guys are so much fun. I love hanging out Friday nights with you guys. All right. We'll do a couple more questions, and then I think I'm going to put the link in the chat. So if somebody wants to jump on. Jade Kitten, would it be possible to do a group screening of WNUF Halloween special? What is that? Seriously, I think it'd be so fun as a group. What? WNUF. Somebody in the comments, help me out. Bail me out here because I don't know what this means. WNY nobody. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that will fill in the blanks here, but I don't know what this means. Jade Kitten, help me out. Let's move on to another question, and we'll come back to this if she can. You ready for tomorrow? Okay. Cree Storm, did you know they say that Bigfoot has the same sound of a tiger that makes their prey freeze? At least that's what a scientist said on a show I watched. World, now you're nice, boo. So that's interesting. I mean, I don't know who said that and what scientist said that or speculate it, because I don't see how you could ever say that for sure currently, because unless you actually have a Bigfoot and you can study it, actually see it and listen to it, what are you comparing to? Like, how do you know a sound? How do you know it makes a sound of a tiger when you don't even know if the creature exists? I mean, that's yeah, Shauna. Like, why? What kind of scientist is that? That's just going out on a limb. Again, I haven't heard the show or what you're talking about. I don't know who the scientist is or how they said it or what in what context. But I'm like, what? I don't. That's what gets me about like all these communities: Bigfoot, ghosts, cryptids, UFOs, and stuff. There are assumptions about behaviors and specific characteristics of their target topic, like Bigfoot, for in this example, that they pass along as fact. Like, they say it in a matter of fact, factual way, as in, like, yeah, they make a sound like a tiger that freezes their prey. That we know this. No, you fucking don't. No, that's not how this works. So yeah, I mean, as far as this, I haven't heard anything like that. I'm not too big into the Bigfoot community. I look at some of the sightings that pop up in my feed, and I'll address them if there's anything worth it. But unfortunately, for the most part, many of the sightings just don't have any physical evidence. They are anecdotes only, and there is nothing to go on. So sadly, it's not a thing that I devote too much time to, because it's just not worth it. So I hope I addressed your question and answered it in a decent way. So, all right, moving on. That's good. Oh, I love this. I'm feeling good. Everyone feeling good? You guys feeling good? You guys drinking? You got a drink? Macy Rose. That sounds like a ship. Like, we're gonna set sail on the Macy Rose. I think so. Kenny, I like the little figure too, raising her hand. Do you know which is the oldest book in your library, and what is the topic? The oldest book in my library. Oh shit. I think so. So I would have to say original book, because I know I do have reprints or like later editions that were printed like years later, or like collected volumes and stuff like that. but I do believe I have a like 1850s book from a reverend on sex ed. Sex ed and hygiene. I know I have it. I don't know where it is though. It might be at home in my collection. I don't know if it's actually here, but I did have that, and I started reading through it. It was very not educational. we'll put it that way. Yeah, I'm just it was strange, but I didn't read it all. So that's the best. I think it's 1850s that it's from. I'd have to check. I'm going to write that down and get back to you on that. Oldest book in my library for Macy. I'm going to try and write the names down. Rose. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. I'll check and I'll get back to you on the next show. That's good. That's awesome. Kit Ford. What's up, Kit? Are you going to film your Bigfoot hunting adventure to share with us? I'm going to try. So my wife and I used to do a YouTube channel. It's still up, but we just haven't been active in it, called K&D Adventures. And it would be going to places like that, going on adventures and just like a road trip. So I don't know if we're going to film to make like an adventure video because it's not really investigating. We're not investigating anything. Excuse me. I'm a speaker, so I'm going to be talking about investigating techniques that I use. And I'm going to try, I have to work on that this week because I haven't worked on it, but like try to tailor it a little bit more to make sense with the Bigfoot community. Because most of my examples are more like UFOs and hauntings and ghosts and stuff like that. So I would like to put more examples in with Bigfoot. But I don't think there's really much to do when it comes to filming for like Skeptical Inquirer, because I'm the token skeptic. Sometimes I run into the problem where people won't talk to me, or if they know that I'm filming, they won't say anything, or they change their answers. And I don't really like that. I'd rather wait until like, if there is a Bigfoot hunt, I know they're going out hiking at night. There's two, like there's a Friday night and a Saturday night hike that you can go out into where they've had Bigfoot sightings, alleged Bigfoot sightings. So if I do go out, I might film that and do like a short video where I'm just talking to people, asking questions, because it'll probably be dark and you won't see too many people. Because there's also the thing about like people being on camera, especially talking to a skeptic, you know. So I'm going to try. If I can get that, that might be fun, you know, just to, what's that say? Your token. South Park is awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I am token. But that might be interesting. That if I film just like short interviews walking through the park, like I could name it something like hiking for Bigfoot, interviews with Bigfooters, you know, something like that, and do maybe 20 minutes to a half hour of just asking different people what their thoughts are and why and stuff like that. So if I can do that, I will. Hey, Diana's there. She has Donna. So Donna is watching, or at least listening, hopefully doing crafts and not watching the Phillies, but we all know what she's doing. All right. Chris Like, you had a question about the Flight 91 site in Shanksville. Has anyone investigated the site? I'm sure the government wouldn't approve anyone going there. So I did put a poll up on YouTube because this is the topic that I wanted to bitch about. But I'll be bitching about it probably in a future show too. But I'm going to bitch about it a little bit now. So I came across someone that let's say they were part of an investigation that I'm doing with 3TS. We're looking into something, and I'm trying to pull up the poll just to see what the results are. Okay. So we're looking into somebody, and as we're looking into them, we see some investigations by them. And one investigation is at the flight 93, right? Wasn't it 93? Flight 93? Yeah, Flight 93 National Memorial in Pennsylvania. I've been there. It's I honestly, I mean, I'm in all seriousness. I mean, we went through there, and I cried because they have the recordings. I feel myself like getting emotional now. They have the recordings, the final recordings of the passengers there, that you can pick up the phones and listen to these things, and it's heartbreaking, like so heartbreaking to listen to them. I couldn't do it. Like, I listened, I think, till 1, and I couldn't make it all the way through because I was tearing up and just getting like all like emotional because of it. And then walking out to the site where the plane crashed. So I mean, it's a very like solemn sight. It's not a place that I think people should be ghost hunting in. And this person that we came across during our research and stuff like that had a investigation up at this place. And reading it, it's basically saying that they secretly did a ghost hunt. Like, they had a gadget in their pocket. They had a FLIR camera attached to their phone, sticking out of their backpack or back pocket. So it was all discreet and not knowing. And I think he had some kind of ghost box going. And I mean, this person, I said he, so that's already out of the bag. This person was like telling you outright that he was doing it discreetly. And that tells me, like, right away, you're not supposed to fucking do that. Like, if you're doing it sneaking around like that, then chances are you probably wouldn't get permission to do it. So you shouldn't be doing it. And I think there's a difference because somebody did comment, left a comment that it's, they understand going back and forth, and that maybe it's not any different than any other place. And I disagree with that. I think there's a difference when people go into a private home and the homeowners are like, something's going on. I want to know, what's going on. That's one thing. I still don't agree with private residence investigations and stuff like that, but that's a whole nother topic. When people go to historic sites, yeah, there's the ghost stories that are known. And usually we're dealing with an alleged person that died a long, long time ago, where any relatives are probably once or twice removed at least. We're talking about people's great grandparents or great great grandparents or something like that. I still don't approve of it, of like Gettysburg, even though I violated that myself. Like I used to ghost hunt at Gettysburg, and now that I look at it, I don't think it's proper. But that's me. But something like this memorial, I mean, it's very recent. And if you post any kind of results, alleged results from a ghost hunter, like an amateur ghost hunter, which is not scientific, who knows what they're going to say. And you're talking about people that still have relatives alive, like children and parents that are still alive with this. And what if they come on and see this? It's like when John Edward, I think it was John Edward, tried to do a gallery reading for the World Trade Center, and it never went to air because people were so pissed off that he fucking did that. So yeah, for me, I don't think it's respectful. And especially if you're sneaking around, like if you get permission, that's one thing. I still don't think it's right, but that's me. But if you're sneaking around because you're not going to get permission, then I think you're a bit of a dick. What do you guys think? What do you? I don't know. I don't know if I'm a single voice here or what. So let me know your thoughts, and maybe we can have a discussion. So the poll right now, let me refresh it just to make sure. So I asked the question: do you approve of secretly ghost hunting at memorial sites like the Flight 93 National Memorial in Pennsylvania? And I put yes, no, or not just no, it's also disrespectful, because I think it is. So 12% said yes, that they approve of secretly ghost hunting there. 26% said no, they do not approve. And then 63% said not just no, it's also disrespectful. So I'm there. So we're talking 60, 70, 89%, or 88%. Wait, three, no, it's 89. And then there's 12%. There's a 1% missing. I'm not good at math, but I I can see that there's 1% missing. What the hell? All right. So there you go. Maybe it's in between, like a 0.5 or something like that. So let's see. I don't know if you saw my response, so I'm putting Q, but it's literally called a Halloween special. Oh, okay. I don't know what that is. Let's look that up. Let's see. WNUF Halloween special. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So what does IMDb say about it? A horror comedy with fake news and commercials section that was filmed on old video cameras to make it look like real VHS recording of a commercial television station's Halloween special from 1987. Oh, okay. It's from 2013. Oh, wow. I think you're right, Jade Kidden. I think this would be a good 3TS movie night. So Tim Vickers is in the background. I think this is something that we should plan, because I think this would be interesting. Oh, I see a guy in a bunny suit, like he's in an Easter bunny suit. That's interesting. It looks almost like it kind of reminds me of Ghostwatch. So it should be interesting. Oh, they got a guy that looks like the old psychic. Oh, but he's a newscaster. Anyway, all right. So I'm gonna write that down. Movie night, 3TS. So, what was that? Oh, WNUF Halloween special. So maybe we can figure it out. I know we have a show coming up this Wednesday, so we'll talk about it and see if we can plan a date. So basically, what we do, if you follow us on 3TS, it's a very Ghostwatch-esque. Nice. Another show that myself and Tim Vickers and Dave Schumacher do, it's called Three Tortured Souls. We do it once a month on the first Wednesday of a month when we can. But we pick a topic, we talk about it, and you get 3 different perspectives. So once in a while, I think we've only done it once or maybe twice. I don't know. We've had a movie night where we do a big Zoom call and we play a movie and we all kind of watch and just we get in the chat and we make comments and we do like a MS3 Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of style. So it should be fun. It should be fun. I'm looking forward to it now because it looks kind of crazy. I love the old like 80s style video cameras. I have a whole bunch of them up on my my shelf here, the 80s style cameras. Stone Tape Theory and Ghostwatch. Yes. Yeah, they were both good. I loved Ghostwatch and I love Stone Tape Theory. I think they were really good films that were definitely not only ahead of their time, especially Ghostwatch, but like with Stone Tape Theory, that set, I think that really set up the whole like imprint kind of idea. The what is it called? Residual haunting. So I really think that's what set it up. And I think that was really cool. So definitely something to watch. All right. Cat Mac, nice shirt, Kenny. Did you grab it right off the pallet when it was delivered like you do with the new Skeptical? So yes, this is the new Psycon t-shirt. Let me get that out of the way with the horseshoe because we are at the Horseshoe Casino this year. And yes, I literally did. So I walked back from lunch and I was walking across the parking lot when the UPS guy was pulling away and he had just put the boxes on at the front door. So nobody had got them. I brought them in and I set them up on the counter. And then I went and got Tim Binga, who's our librarian and in charge of all that stuff. And I was like, hey, like the shirts are here. You want to open them up? Because we should see if they're okay. And he opened them up and handed me one. So I got it. Yeah. But I wasn't allowed to post a picture until after my boss posted the picture. So I'm not allowed to do that, even though I got it before him. All right. We're doing good. Damn it, Bob. Do you have a favorite experiment that you've done since you started this channel? Or is it too hard to say that you even have a top 5? Wow. So, I mean, I love all of them. I love everything that we've done. And not just like it extends to 3TS, because I mean, you guys don't see like a lot of behind the scenes stuff, although I'm starting to show a lot of that with the members section. So I'm trying to put members only videos up of behind the scenes stuff, which I did yesterday. I think I put an experiment up, but basically it's like most of the time I am bouncing ideas off of Dave and Tim. And Tim Vickers, who is in the background, and then Dave Schumacher, who's the other host of Three Tortured Souls. Like, we get together, we talk every day, and if we have an idea or something, we talk about it. And like we just did talked about the experiment that Tim had organized about a haunted object test, and that was really fun. I thought that was a lot of fun because it's got different perspectives. We sent several objects around to different people, and they rotate it. So I think every month they got a different object until everyone had a month with every single object. They wrote in a journal. We got the notes. We talked about it. There were numbers. Dave did statistics because he's the only one of us that can. And we had fun talking about it and all the ideas and stuff like that. So, but with this show, like, there's also a lot of behind the scenes because you guys give me ideas. Like, if comments come up or questions come up and I don't know what it is, and I'll write it down on my notebook, and I might get inspired the next day and say, you know what? I don't know if I can set off 3 REM pods that are spread out around the house. Let me see if I can. And I will try to find, because I have 2, I will try to find a 3rd one so that I can set it up in different parts of a house and try it. It's really fun. So yeah, I can't narrow it down to my top 5 because I truly enjoy every single one of them, because each one I get to learn. From most of these experiments, I have an idea of what might happen. I have an idea of what I want to happen, but going into it, I honestly don't know what's really going to happen. So it's fun to go on that path of discovery, and bring you guys into it, because I get the ideas from you guys and then I get to share it on this show. So it's a lot of fun. Not only in this show, but I get to put out full videos. Like, I've been playing with this thing, this one of those ultrasonic music boxes. I think I showed it last week, but I love doing it. I love playing with this. I had this set up with cameras and I was messing with it and trying to go different angles and see what else could affect it. It was just a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't think I have a favorite, because I really, like, nothing's popping in my head because they have all been just fun to do. I have the greatest fucking job in the world. I have no lie, man. I just love my job. I hear too that we have off on Monday for a holiday, and I'm like, yeah. And it's funny, like, my coworkers left, and at least one of them, Nicole, was like, we have off Monday, right? And I'm like, yeah, but my wife's not home, so I'll be here because I love being here and I have stuff to do. Damn it. I have work to do. Got videos to make, articles to write, experiments to perform, stuff to blow up. No, not really. Well, I mean, there was that one time. But anyway, all right, moving on. Good job, Tim. You're like, Tim knows my tells. Redman, why don't folks like to push phone apps? Why don't folks like to push phone apps like Dave mentions for those who'd like to take this more seriously. I think because they're too scientific. It's more fun to have, and this is my opinion, this is my personal opinion, I think it's more fun to have a app on your phone that beeps and has like a little radar thing that you can follow around, and it's like more of a novelty thing than collecting a whole bunch of data. Because data, I mean, for the general public, tons of data is boring, and I get it. I understand it, but it's important, and especially when you find an anomaly in that data, and you can start exploring it. I really think it goes back to methodology, and how people want to perform it. I think there's a routine that's already in place. People are so used to doing what they see on TV, replicating what they've seen on the ghost hunting shows, which is non-scientific. It's just opposite of scientific. It's very belief based. It's very pseudoscience. It's very like, let's get excited about beeps and lights, but not get the hard data. You right there, Tim? Sensor Play is an app we all got from Dave's recommendation. Yes, exactly. And that's something that people should be getting. These kind of apps that collect all this data that because like here's the question. When most groups, and if you're in a group, if you're a ghost hunter, like, what do you do with the data? Like, where's it go? Do you go from place to place and just like, hey, we're going to spend a couple hours here. We're going to see what's going on. Let's make a video. No offense, Dawson. I'm not picking on you. I just saw your name and I'm like, oh, there's a video ghost hunter guy. I love Dawson, by the way. I love him. He gives me butterflies all the time. So who is Dave? Dave Schumacher is the third host of Three Tortured Souls, and he is the stats guy. So he is big into numbers. He is big into data collection. So when we have a question about data logging or statistics or anything that's really like intense data collection, we go to him. He's the smart one. That's right. He is the smart one. But yeah, I think the novelty is just more appealing to most, because again, I'm not going to say this to be mean, but I think most of the people in the paranormal community are hobbyists. They're not like dedicated investigators, because I think there's a level. How do I want to say this? There is a level to surpass between a hobbyist and a serious investigator, and I think most people fall below that line. And I'm trying not to say that in a derogatory manner, but that's what it is. It's a hobby. It's a thrill. It's something to do. It's a night out. It's to explore a spooky place. It's to get good stories. It's to play with some toys that light up and make noise, and no idea why they're doing it. But for a serious investigation, there's a lot of boring parts, and I think people avoid that I think people avoid that in lieu of a novelty that gets you that immediate response, that immediate rush of adrenaline. And it's I almost want to say like the TikTok generation kind of thing, because it's like constant, like, let's go next one. Apps are like slot machines. They're to engage people, entertain, and not inform. Yeah. Cat Max got a tiara. Oh, it's a tiara. That's one of my favorite Big Bang episodes. I love that. All right. One more question, and then we'll go to break. Let me see. I got to get my glasses on so I can see. Since we have, this is Redman. Okay. Since we have a few of the Three Tortured Souls folks usually on the help bar, would you consider doing the EVP test we did on Three Tortured Souls sometime? That was fun as hell. None of us got them right, and those were top. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I was thinking. Oh, my God. I'm like feeling like, what am I feeling? And I think I had a spider web kind of thing. But it's the freaking magician's thread. It must have like attached to like my arm hair. Damn, I'm a hairy guy. All right, let me put this over here first. It's all over me. Get off. All right. So yeah, I think that actually, I don't know. Maybe we'll do that for 3TS, but I'd like to do that here. Maybe, you know what? How about this? Maybe I'll see if Dave and Tim can come on here one night, and we'll just do the EVP thing here, because I think that would be fun. You're right. It would be fun to start playing EVPs the way we did on that show, because basically what we did was we took EVPs that ghost hunting teams claimed were like the best they got, very clear and class A and all this shit. And we took the question out so that you didn't know the context of the response that you're supposed to listen to. And we played it, and it was a lot of fun, because like the three of us were getting different answers. Everyone watching in the chat was getting different answers. And I don't think any of us got it right. Like, I think some of us got close. We might have gotten like one word of what it was supposed to say. And I have to make that clear. We were judging everyone's answers on what the ghost hunters had deemed it said. So there was no actual confirmation. It was just like, this is what we hear, the ghost hunters. That's what the ghost hunters hear. Therefore, that's what it is presented as. So we were basing it off of that. It was a lot of fun. So maybe, yeah, we'll get together. We'll see if we can do that, or we'll have another show like that on 3TS, and then we'll see if you guys can come over there, because we have 2 shows coming out. Next week is going to be Ouija boards. We're going to be talking about Ouija boards because I picked that last month, and then I think the month after we have a book review. That's all I'm going to say. Because we're going to try to get the author of the book on to defend his claims. We'll see how that goes. So there you go. All right. So I'm going to take our break. We have oh my God, there's thread all over the place. I really got to stop experimenting right here. Anyway, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to put my video up so that we can all take a pee break, because that's what it's called, even though Donna does not like when I call it that. I mean, I don't know what the big deal is. I gotta pee. I'm sure other people out there, but you guys can just get up and go. Where's my commercial? Let's see. Oh, there it is. All right. So I will see everyone back here in 4 minutes and 9 seconds from now.
And now for something completely different.
Welcome, my fellow skeptics. Welcome, one and all. I am the chief investigator. Oh, come along, old chap. We will have a ball. Now, if you will excuse me, it's time to open the mic. Good night. Good night. Kenny Biddle today investigates my game, and I will have at it. Quid pro quo. As the head of this committee, hunting for ghosts can be shitty, but there is nothing better that I know. I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? Let's open the bar and have some questions, alright. Maybe you might find an answer or two. I will find the truth this night and day, and if my name is not Kenny Biddle, then I assure you here I will not stay. Good day! Kenny Biddle's the name, ghost hunting's the game. I won't let anything get in my way. Too many fakers out there, too many chefs, too many toe tappers, none of it makes any sense. I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? Let's
so keen. I prefer to see these things clearly, not in 144p. I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? If you don't think I am right, let's open mic night. Yeah, yeah. I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? If you don't think I am right, let's open mic night. Yeah. If you have an answer or two, let Kenny Biddle solve it for you. Let Kenny Biddle solve it for you. The one and only Kenny Biddle. Kenny Biddle. Kenny Biddle. Kenny
Woo! That was fun. Oh, I love that. If I only had a camera going, I mean, a different camera than that, it'd be fun because I was dancing around and shit. All right. So I think I put the link in the chat if you want to join. I have to say it's for a limited time only, just in case. Because I want, if you want to come on, ask a question, I can answer it. We hang out for a couple minutes and then we'll move on to the next question. And I just say that because I did have a show a while back where someone was on and they wouldn't leave, but they had nothing to contribute. So it feels weird. I don't know. Is that weird to say? It's just, if you're just coming on just to be like, ask a question. Discuss something. But we have a whole bunch of questions. Oh, Ghost Quest is on. What's up, buddy? Steph Rosa, Michael Burkeen is here. Carl, Kenny, Q, why the smooth chin? Because it's like a baby bottom. No, I don't. You know what? I go through stages. So I don't know if I've said this on here before. I think I've done a little video. I might have done it on TikTok where I've talked about it. But basically, I get skin irritations, and it's sometimes it's pretty bad. So when I shave like smooth, I get these like dark spots all on my face, and it's annoying, and they itch. And no matter what I've done, nothing has ever worked. So keeping it like this is usually good. When it grows in, it's okay. But like around here in Buffalo, we were getting colder weather. It was starting to get cooler, which was nice. So the beard was good, but then it got really hot. And I'm not talking like just hot. It was like humid, steamy hot. So having a beard was like, so I shaved it down like this, but I don't, if I go smooth, which I really do like going, I really like having no hair on my face. But unfortunately it looks weird. And then every time I do it, people ask me questions, which I get. If you're curious, I don't get offended. It just makes me feel awkward. They're like, what's wrong with your face? And I'm like, well, I'm an idiot. I'm ugly. I don't know. But they, I try to just avoid that and just, keep a peach fuzz kind of thing going on. Oh, man. So, personal problems, no big deal. What is the one paranormal ability or supernatural being that you want to be proven true? From Jay. What is the one paranormal ability? I would love, so the common term would be telekinesis. and I've since learned from Dave that it's supposed to be called psychokinesis, the ability to move things with your mind. I would love to be able to do that, because that's the force. I would love to be able to do that, move things with my mind and be like, oh, like I need some rum. I'm like, whoop, look at that. We have a special effects budget on this show. My left hand. Anyway, so yeah, like that's what I would love. Supernatural being. If I'm gonna go with a supernatural being, I mean, I'm guessing you're like going across all the fringe stuff. So I would love aliens to be like real. That would be cool. I am also a big Stargate fan. Like, I'm a big Star Wars fan, but Stargate, when it comes to interaction with other life, like, I think that's perfect series. I've started rewatching Stargate Atlantis, so I'm on like season 3 now. But I love that whole dynamic. I love just going out and visiting worlds and trade and all that. So I would love aliens to be real. That would be cool. But not like the Wraith. I don't want that, or the Goa'uld. None of them, because they suck. Goshen Paranormal Societies in the house. Really? Thank you. Goshen helped me out, because right before I did the show here, I was on TikTok doing a live, trying to figure out how to get guests and co-host on, and Goshen Paranormal hopped on and helped me out so I could learn how to do it a little bit more. So thank you. Appreciate it. Wisdom. If ghosts can touch stuff, would they have fingerprints? Interesting. So fingerprints are just that's a trait of humans and other primates. So it doesn't necessarily mean like my dog doesn't have a fingerprint, but it can touch things. So it doesn't, just because you can touch it doesn't mean that you can you have a fingerprint. And we're talking about hypothetically. We're going with the benefit of the doubt that a ghost exists. So if a ghost does exist and it can move stuff, how is it touching it? We'd have to figure out the science there. Is it actually touching it physically, or is it using like magnetism? Because magnetism can move things without touching it. So there would be no imprint of a physical object, just a field. So that's a good question. I would say probably not. Mostly because I'm on team ghosts don't exist. Team ghosts don't exist. I really have to slow down my talking. I'm so excited. I'm like buzzing. I don't know why. It's probably because of the music and you guys. Dawn of the Dead. That's an awesome movie. I really the original. Yeah, I like that. Not trying to flex. Oh, but I was at the executive producer of Stargate's house in Hollywood while he was working on Independence Day. Met him, and he was new to producing. That is, you're flexing, and that is totally cool. I am totally jealous of you. I am a big Stargate fan. I love all the series, even Universe. I love it. It's a great concept, and I love the characters. I can relate to a lot of the characters. So really good series. Good. Carl, Kenny Biddle. Ooh, we're getting formal. Question: why do you think some people assume the moon is hollow? Wow, I don't think I've ever been asked that question. Well, I mean, I guess it's the same reason people believe that the Earth is flat. Like they get into a mindset. Maybe they get into some kind of certain circles where these ideas are reinforced over and over and over again. And like there's a way to present arguments that sound logical, yet are not logical whatsoever. I mean, one example is Eric von Däniken and his like Chariots of the Gods and the series of books that he's put out. Lots of speculation. He spins it in a way that it sounds logical, it sounds believable, it sounds plausible, but It's not. When you really dig into the science, it is not. His ideas and hypotheses fall apart. So I think with this, it's the idea. I mean, because we haven't drilled. As far as I know, we have not drilled. Tried to drill into the core of the moon, or to get anywhere near. I mean, they've taken rocks, as far as I know, but I don't recall any drilling going on that would give. There's no evidence either way. I mean, it might be hollow. I'm not saying it is. Don't freak out, people. I doubt it is. I mean, the science right now says it's a big rock, so I don't know why people will believe that, except that, maybe it's just ingrained in them. If I mean, think about it. A lot of our beliefs, what you believe, your core beliefs, usually come from your upbringing, like your parents, your family, friends that growing up, you get influenced by these people, and the first beliefs that you have come from the people that raise you. So if there was an idea that, oh no, the moon's hollow, that's going to stick with you, and that's going to become your anchor. And now you're going to base all new conflicting information against your anchor, and you're going to have to listen to the evidence. And it's really easy to say, well, you don't know if it's not hollow, which, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't read all the science, but the science that I did read points to a big rock, solid, no hollowness. Would be cool though. Hollowed out the moon, put a little space in there, like work out on the moon. That'd be cool. All right, moving on. We got a lot of questions. Holy shit. Might be going to hour 3. We'll have to play Donna's song, even though Donna's not here. All right, let me put my glasses back on so I can see. Bigfoot hunt. Would audio sounds of an animal crying in distress be a lure to other animals? Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, if there's an animal in distress and it's crying out, it's making its calls where it's obviously in distress. Yes, I think that would alert all the other predatory animals in the area to its location. And yeah, but on a Bigfoot hunt, or are you making a pun? Like, are you making a joke? I don't know. Bigfoot hunt. But when it comes to Bigfoot being alerted, again, like I say again, like I said this before. I've said it before on other shows, but not on this show. So there's no need to say it again. With Bigfoot, I'm not even sure it exists. So anything that we say, any answer I give, will be speculation. So, hey, Donna's here. Hi, Donna. You're not here. It's weird. Like, I want to look over. I want to say something. Like, I'm saying things that I think are funny, but there's no laugh. I'm not getting any feedback. It's fucking me up. I feel like I'm talking to like an empty auditorium, but I'm not. I see all the comments. Don't worry. I love you guys. All right. Moving on. Cree Storm. Have you ever watched Expedition Bigfoot? It is comprised of all wildlife researchers looking for proof of Bigfoot. So I have seen it. Let me see. Because I've spoken. Let me see. My God, I can't even spell. Expedition Bigfoot. There we go. So cast. I have met. I'm gonna screw up her name. I apologize. Mira Mayer. So I met her at Pennhurst and I spoke with her. It was actually like disappointing not meeting her. Like, it wasn't disappointing that I met her. It was disappointing that nobody else was bothering to meet her. So I went to Pennhurst. She was one of the special guests, and like all the ghost hunters had long lines waiting to see them. And there was literally no one in her line. But I walked up, I talked to her, got to know her, talked to her, told her what I did. and we really connected. I mean, I got to have a nice conversation with her. I thought she was really nice. And the impression that I got through conversation and maybe some dropped hints was that she was doing it more to reach an audience that she wouldn't normally get to reach, because she was much more skeptical than what she portrays on the show. But with everyone else, like, I haven't seen any episodes, so I don't really know. The only thing that I know is that I talked to her and I got her impression of it. So no, I have not watched it. And I don't know. Let's see, who are they? So Apple TV, we have. Oh, they have some of them are doing the rock star pose for the pictures. So an elite team of Sasquatch specialists. I don't know. See, like, that's the description on Apple TV. An elite team of. Let me share this so that you guys can see, because I don't like just reading off when you don't see what I'm doing here. All right, so right here, an elite team of Sasquatch specialists journey into the unforgiving North American wilderness to prove once and for all that the elusive beast known as Bigfoot is real. As far as I know, they have not done that. I don't know how you become a Sasquatch specialist if you don't have a Sasquatch to study. You don't have a Sasquatch, or you don't have the effects of a Sasquatch on an environment to study. So I don't know how you become a specialist in that area. Season 1, how many seasons? So Mira, yeah, that's who I met. She was really nice. I liked her. How many seasons are there? 2019 to now. Let's see. Bigfoot. Take me back to the main thing. There we go. Top rated. Where are the seasons? Did I miss that? 2019 to there. It doesn't tell me how many seasons. Oh well. All right, let me stop sharing that. So yeah, the short answer is I haven't seen it, so I can't give you a good review. But maybe I will put it on my homework list. Hi guys, I'm taking back to Kenny out loud here. Let's move along. Oh my God. You know, if you're going to correct me on the show, at least spell all the words right. I'm so much trouble for that. But it's all right. I have a couple more days where I won't get in trouble until Tuesday. Expedition Bigfoot. Watch episodes. Torture yourself. There we go. All right. Hey, Giggles. Michael, what's up? What's up, buddy? Why don't ghosts buy colored sheets? You got me. You got me. That's good. That is good. That's how did the white sheet get? That's, you know what? How white sheets and ghosts? Like, now I'm curious. How did a ghost? Why did a ghost start becoming portrayed as like a white sheet over it? That's weird. It's boo sheet. Thank you, Shauna. It's boo sheet. That's an interesting question. I wonder. Let's look at the origin. That might be an article. That might be an article idea. All right, moving on. Abs. Kenny, if you see a full apparition with your own eyes, would you think you had a mental health problem? Oh, so I can tell you from the start, like, if I think I saw an apparition, there would be a lot of investigation. Because there's plenty of times when I've walked into a hallway. I need a haircut. I walked into a hallway or a place and saw something down at the end of the hall. Not sure what it was. Like, I saw something. Shadow goes through like the hallway or something. I'm not sure. Next hour, you can bet that I'm going to be there. Like, that's all I'm going to be doing. I'm consumed with that, trying to figure out what I saw. try to recreate it. So for this scenario, excuse me, if an apparition popped up right in front of me, where like the first thing I would do, I always say this, first thing I would do, poke. I want to see if you're squishy. 2, I want to see if I go through you. 3, I want to see if you're cold or warm, and what kind of texture, like what is this? If it's not squishy, what is it? Is it I'm not going to say it. So that's the first thing. And I would probably want to walk around it. Mental health problem, it wouldn't come up until later. Like I'd have to exhaust all the ideas that I can come up with because I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm witnessing something. I'm not sure what it is. I'm going to try and figure it out first. And if there's other people there, that's going to be a benefit to me because I can ask, like, do you see this? I'm looking at this. I'll describe it. Do you see the same thing? No. Yes. Then I'll decide where to go from there. If no one else sees it, and I definitely see it, I would submit to a medical examination because first I want to see if there's anything wrong with me. Like, is there something going on in my head? Like an illness, a disease, bacterial infection, hallucinogen. I mean, did I inhale something? If that proves that I have a clean bill of health, I would probably submit to a psychiatric evaluation because like that is completely abnormal. And we're talking like actually seeing a figure that has all the characteristics of a ghost, like transparent, non-corporeal, like my hand would go through it, this and that, but still interacts with me, or goes through a wall, not like I think I saw a shadow or I think I saw a person. That stuff is so easily mistaken. So I would not bother with that. But we're talking like a full eyewitness report kind of thing. Then yeah. All right. Now I have Donna's voice in my head going, come on, there's other questions. You have a whole bunch of questions. We're going to hour 3. Michael says, Kenny, do you believe in superstitions? I do not. Nope, not at all. I've broken mirrors. I've walked under ladders. I've stepped on cracks. Actually, we're going to try for next year here at CFI. We're going to have what's called a superstition bash. So we were going to try and have it this year, but things got just too busy because we were going to have it on Friday the 13th, which is in October, which would have been great, but just I don't have the time to lead that kind of an event. So we're going to try and shoot for next year and just go through a whole bunch of superstitions. And we're going to try and go for a record, a Guinness Book of World Records for the most superstitions broken in one day. So we're going to see. We'll see what we do. So no, I do not. Good question though. Carl, if we're 99% closer to chimps yet can't procreate, so how the heck can there be a Mothman? What? I don't know how the two questions connect. I'm not sure your connection here. We can procreate. So I don't know what the first part is. Unless you're saying like interspecies. And with Mothman, I'm thoroughly convinced right now, with all the data, with everything that we know, all the anecdotes, there is no physical evidence. But they probably mistook it for just a bird. I think the blue herring that is known to be in the area. I've driven the path that the original 4 witnesses took, where they claimed that they saw the Mothman. And it would be really easy to see a 3-foot tall bird appear as if it was much larger, just because of the way the road was. Like I said, I've driven the same road yeah, I don't see any reason to believe that there was a Mothman, especially with there's later information with the three other witnesses and the one lady that became the main focus of all the interviews and attention. We'll say, yeah, there's a lot of discrepancies, and her story. When you have all her interviews lined up, she doesn't get everything right each time. So that tells me like they probably made the story up. So yeah, I don't buy into the Mothman thing. Although I like the festival. That was a lot of fun. All right. Ganja Mama. Have you been to the D-Day Memorial in Bedford, Virginia? It's amazing, sad, but beautiful. Steven Spielberg was one of the first to contribute to it. I have not. That is a place that I would like to go. But no, I have not been there yet. But it's definitely a place I would like to visit one day. But good question. Thank you. Oof. Macy Rose. Kenny, do you have enough material for a bloopers reel? Bloopers reel. So, I mean, I the only bloopers that I would have are when I do the full videos for like Ghosts in the Machine series that I do for Center for Inquiry. And even those, most of them are me just sitting here like this. Like a lot of the stuff that you see me do during the live show is what I do for the bloopers. So basically I'm sitting here and I'm trying to read off. I don't have a script. I usually have like an outline up on the screen. My outline is usually on a, where are my Post-it notes? I don't know. I lost them. Oh, there they are. So I usually have a Post-it note thing up next to the camera with bullet points so that I can just read the bullet points, and I just like to go. I can't read a script because you know what? When you read a script, you can see like their eyes reading the words, and I hate that. Like every time I see people doing that, I pick it up right away. I look at it, I'm like, oh, they're reading a script. I like to do it off the cuff. But like I most of the bloopers would be me going, well, you know, like when we talk about Bigfoot, fuck, God damn it. Because I forget my line. I forget what I want to say, or I trail off, and I realize that I trailed off. And I'm like, oh, damn it. You know, I just spent 10 minutes talking about something that has nothing to do with the topic of the video. So I don't really keep them. And as for bloopers, when I'm doing experiments, I really haven't done any bloopers. They're real because I usually plan it out enough that I know what I'm doing. And if I'm doing an experiment, I usually try it like once or twice before I film it because I want to make sure it goes right. I don't want to waste time or waste film because I still have to edit it. So I'd rather edit 2 hours of video down to like a half hour rather than 6 hours of videos. Shut up. All right, Tim, she goes on the banned list. Oh my God. All right, I'm moving on. Julia, the editor. Oh my goodness. Julia is my moderator for my TikTok lives. So if you're on TikTok, go look for her and subscribe because we need to get her up to 1,000 subscribers or followers so that she can go on as a co-host with me. So that's what we're going for. Do you feel that history is a good single element? Wait. Do you feel that history is a good single element way to prove a paranormal claim? Or do you feel you need more to cooperate a claim? Sorry, I don't know how to spell. All right. So history is not always the best perspective because you're still getting someone's perspective. Whatever history you're getting was written by someone. So we're getting their perspective, and we have to know what facts were available, what data was available to them. And we also have to consider the source. Like I always try to go to primary sources, but the problem is like what data was available to them. And also if your primary source was a very biased source, you know, like if it had and I'm not picking on religious people, but like if it was a pastor that was very biased towards religion, there would be a religious slant to it. So there might be things left out. There might be things that were interpreted a different way. So you have to look at that. So history is a good place to start. I think a lot of newspaper articles are good. Records are good. Census records are good. A lot of this stuff is good to bring together and look at the entire picture. Look at everything, not just a single document. But then I also like to take a look at more modern stuff. If I can visit the location, that's good. If I can talk to witnesses, like if we're dealing with an event that's not too far into history and the people are still alive and we can interview them, that's great. Even though memory is not always going to be reliable, but we can still talk to them. They might also have artifacts that they kept that we can look at and examine. And if we go to the location, we can. Oh, good, awesome. If we go to the location, we can examine where basically the scene of the crime. To see what might have been, what might have happened. Different characteristics that might come up that might change an idea. So there's a lot to go. I think there's a balance. I think there's both history and then we do need more information sometimes. So, but if all we have to go on is the history, then make that clear. Like I make that clear. Like the only information I have is what I could dig up. That's it. There's no new information. The location doesn't exist anymore. The people have all passed away. There is no new information. So I'm only going to go on this and you're going to get my interpretation. And to make that clear, because, it is an interpretation. So good question, though. Really good question. She comes up with good questions. You used to see her on TikTok. Oh, my goodness. Like, because not many people follow the lives, so it's up to Julia to ask me questions. And luckily she comes up with really good ones. Goshen at Julia just followed you back on TikTok. Thank you. One more closer. Thank you. All right, that's awesome. Tim, Goshen, everyone that's on TikTok, go follow Julia. We got to get her up to 1,000. And she'll come up. Robert Keys, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a long time. Has anyone ever guessed the hidden object that's in the locked box? So I think you're referring to the remote viewing challenge that I do. I did it last week. So one person has gotten that. One person has gotten that because I had a Godzilla action figure in it, and they guessed it. And it was a completely random guess. It was not something that was remote viewed because I did talk to them afterwards. And she's like, yeah, it was not any special power. It was not anything. I just randomly guessed Godzilla. That's it. And so that's it. Everyone that claims to be able to do remote viewing has never gotten even close. And that is telling. Like there's actually a Facebook page. And I think, let me see if I can look it up real quick. There was a Facebook page called Remote Viewing with Kenny Biddle. So remote viewing Kenny Biddle. Let's see if it's still active. Searching. Oh, there it is. So that's great. I'm gonna share this with you because this is funny. Let me see. Oh, there, share. And there you go. So this is a Facebook page. It is not my page. I have nothing to do with this. This is the first box that I started hiding things in. So the gentleman that came up with this, so these are some of his guesses. He would post his guesses. He would post sheets. I think there was a full sheet on here. So he did this. He tried to say that the ring, the Green Lantern ring, was exactly what this picture was. It wasn't. He was sharing my videos at times. Oh, look, a thinner me. That was when I was in shape. Oh, that's hot sauce. That's not an actual grenade. That's hot sauce. That was really good. There's some other sketches that he did. TK421 up top here. That's the target ID number that's on the back of the box that I have, because apparently that's something you need. Oh, there's my remote viewing. So he's got all kinds of pictures up here. It's kind of creepy. No, it's not. There's some more, like none of these pictures that he did, all these sketches, which I should point out, all of them are completely different. Like they're all completely different sketches. You have a ladder, you have a U, you have, this looks like, I don't know what this is. This looks like something like a birth control device. Stairs, water coming down the stairs. You have these two look the same. This looks like an Aries symbol, like my sign. That looks like a wishbone. This looks like like those sunglasses, the magnetic ones that you clip onto your regular glasses. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, he used to do a lot. There's more. I mean, it was fun. It was fun. He was fun to talk to. But yeah, never got anything right. So good question. Good question. Cree Storm. Using the 3 REM pods, how do you set them off without setting off the other 2 at the same time? And then a different one goes off, but not the other 2 again. So with this, there's a way to do it. So the experiment that I was trying to do, and I haven't done it yet. I have not done it yet because I haven't gotten a third one yet. But basically, there was a film called The House in Between, where at one point the ghost hunters in the film had 3 REM pods in the house, and somebody was going up the stairs, and that person is who I suspect had a like a 2-way radio. But I have found with 2 of them, if the REM pods are even, like, I think they were 20 feet from me. They were 20 feet this way and then a 20 feet that way. And I keyed up the 2-way radio. Both of them went off. So I wanted to do it in the house where I had them in different areas, as close as possible to what I see in the film, and then make them go off, because radio frequency will make them go off. And it depends on how close you are, how strong the signal is, this and that. However, I have found that certain things do block it. So if I do, maybe if I have like some aluminum foil or aluminium foil that I can put in front of the antenna and actually hold the foil here and then put the walkie-talkie here, it will set off a REM pod that's in front of me, but it won't set off one that's behind me. So there are ways around it, and it just takes a little practice and you get used to it. So it's not really hard, but it also depends on the REM pod and where you place it, and the antenna. So good question though. I like that. My gosh, we got so many questions. I'm sorry, Tim. I'm making you work tonight. Carl says, what's your take on the Admiral Byrd stories? I don't know what they are. So let me see. Oh my gosh, I really need to have a better memory, because I can't even spell. Admiral Byrd, American naval officer, was pioneering American aviator, polar explorer, and organizer of polar logistics. Wow. Aircraft flights. So I don't know what's your take on the stories. So what kind of stories did he have? Beardo would be proud of you with aluminium. It's funny because I did look it up, and so the American version is spelled without the extra I. So it is aluminum here, but for my UK friends, I like to use both. Last surviving member. Is just Hollow Earth? Is that what it is? Oh yeah. So it does come up with let me see. Hollow Earth. Dun, dun. The Hollow Earth, the greatest geographical discovery in history made by Admiral. He discovered it? What? I did not get the memo on this. That we have a hollow Earth. I wasn't aware that this was discovered. The greatest geographical discovery in history made by Admiral. Let me share again so that you guys see what I'm doing here, because I like to share. Mysterious land beyond the poles. The true origin of flying. Oh my gosh! Not only do we have a hollow Earth, but we have flying saucers. 1901, 1965. Additional information. There's not much there. Let's see. What is this? Bird Archives. Archives in Controversy, the Press, Documentaries, and the Bird Archives. Now, this is going to be long. This is several pages long. Yeah, that's a lot. What is this? What is this? Handwritten notes, expedition, controversial flight to the North Pole in 1926. This is going in the homework pile because that's a lot. It was a hoax, though. I mean, I kind of figured it wasn't real because I really don't remember getting the memo that we do have a hollow Earth. Because science tells us there's a lot of stuff underneath of us. There's a lot of shit there. So I will look into that a little bit more just so I have an idea. That might be a topic of discussion later on. Richard Bird. Hollow Earth. Hollow Earth. All right. Ready for the next question. Whew, we got so many. Oh my goodness. I hope we can get to them all. Jenny Twigs. Are you new? I don't remember saying that name. But if you are, welcome. I'm so happy to see that you're here. Curious if you ever looked into other theories, speculation like stone tape, mirrors as portals, etc. So I looked into Stone Tape. It was a good movie. We discussed it a little earlier. But there is no reason there's no evidence to suggest that stone or other mediums like that will record life events. I think that they're really not a better term for it. Like a tragic event or something like that where someone dies. And I'm going to use stone tape theory film as an example. Like if somebody falls down the stairs and dies, it's not like that there's anything to record. There's nothing. I've been lurking, but I haven't asked questions. Oh, well, it's good that you asked some questions. I'm glad to see you participating. That's awesome. I'm glad that you're lurking, but I'm also happy to see you participating. That's awesome. So yeah, like I guess there's no, there's not a recording mechanism to record on stone. And there's also nothing that I know of that can be recorded. So if somebody dies, it's not like I don't know how to say it. What is that? Like when you record audio or video, there is a visual or audio reference. So there's still an audio, because for audio, there's sound waves. For visual, there is light waves. So there is that, but nothing extra is released that we know of. There's nothing different. It's still the same visual. There's still the same audio. So what's the recording mechanism and what's the medium that it is recording on? So like with stone tape, obviously stone is the medium, but what's the mechanism that is recording? There is none. So I don't think there's anything. Energy. Shut up, Tim. That means we drink. Energy. So yeah, with portals and like mirrors being portals, no, that is as far as I'm concerned, that's complete nonsense. Mirrors have been used to, see ourselves all the time, spy on other people, whatever. But I've had mirrors set up across from each other. The whole portal idea is folklore. It is superstition. It is not based in reality. It is based on belief. That's it. There is no evidence to suggest that they are anything more than mirrors. That's it. So good question though. Thank you. I'm glad that you shot some questions out there. That's awesome. Wisdom. Could you build a smartphone app? Probably not. I'm not good at that. I have an app, or I have an idea of an app that is AI driven to listen and analyze EVP live through an app. So yeah, I don't know the first thing about creating an app. So I am not the person to consult on this. I would definitely go to some kind of developer that does that. But AI, like I play with AI. Like I have a subscription to Midjourney. That's actually thanks to Jason Hawes, because he was showing me like how he uses it, and I was like, that's pretty cool. Come up with images and stuff like that. And I know the songs that you hear, the opening song, the break song, my ending song, and then Donna's song, these are all generated by an AI. Like they're really, really good. The images that I get are weird. So, I mean, because you give it instructions and it gives you something based on your instructions, and sometimes it's really cool, sometimes it's fucked up. Like it's like a nightmare on meth that had a beer. It's all weird. So I wouldn't really trust the AI interpretation of alleged EVPs, especially because my experience with EVPs, they range from anything from real people whispering to friction on the camera itself, which is something I've gotten into recently. I did an experiment with that for a filmmaker. Hopefully that'll be out in his documentary soon. I'm not going to tell you anything else, but computer engineer here. AI has problems analyzing actual voice. It's not going to be able to detect ghost voices and understand them when the human ear can't. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, John Michael, what the hell? Where the hell have you been? About time. About time you came on. Jonathan? Are you going by Jonathan now? I hope I'm talking to the right guy. I hope so. Anyway, your icon's like really tiny, so I can't tell, but it looks like you, John Michael. Hey, it is you. Good. About time you came back to the show, bitch. All right, moving on. Oh my gosh, we're almost at the end of the second hour. Tim, I can see you. Are you good with going a little bit more? You're good. All right. Yeah, we're going to go. We're going to take a break at hour 3. And we're going to go into hour 3. Yes, I love it. Hour 3. Hour 4. Oh, Tim's giving me the 4-hour show. Oh, shit. I got to get more to drink. Cree Storm, how do you explain an Estes that a person is in one room and the other is in another speaking way too low and they answer the question? All right, so first, disclaimer, I hate the Estes method. I think it's a completely irrelevant and illogical and unnecessary method. With that said, I'm going to say that it's not answering the question. It may seem like it's answering the question, but it's not answering the question. You have two different events happening, and they're happening alongside of each other, not correlating. There's no connection. You have one person that's listening to a radio and spitting out any words that they can decipher. That's one track. All right. They're listening, and I've been through this plenty of times. They're listening. They're trying to decipher. They're trying to figure out what's being said. When they hear something and they think they can interpret it, they spit it out. Then you have the second track in a different room where someone is asking questions. The two are going side by side. It's like two railroad tracks. Two trains are going down the tracks. They never connect. They never touch, nothing. They just happen to be going at the same time. once in a while, you're going to have something that sounds like it matches up. You're going to have someone say, "What's your name?" And you're going to have the other person that's listening go, "Mark," or John, or Mary. Once in a while, they're going to line up. They might not line up perfect timing, which is another problem. You know, you might ask a question, and then it's like a minute later. That was a weird notification. A minute later, you get a name. Does that mean it answered the question? No, it doesn't. It means you have two separate tracks that are running alongside of each other. There is no connection. You can't make a connection. You can, I rephrase that. There is no logical connection between them, but you, of course, can make a connection because it's based on belief. That's as far as that goes. Because if you stop asking questions, that person calling out stuff is still going to call out stuff. And if you stop them from calling out stuff and you still ask questions, you're still asking questions. These are two separate tracks going. There's no connection between them. So that's really, I mean, honestly, at the core of it, it is a useless method. It is based on belief. It is based on novelty. It is based on a desire for something to happen and a need for us to make a pattern out of chaos when there is no pattern. And sadly, it's a waste of time. And I see so many people doing it over and over again and just wasting their time. Instead of trying to test the claims that are said about the place, they're doing this method, and it's just there's nothing to back it up. So I'm sorry if that's not the answer that you were hoping for, but I get bothered when I can see people wasting so much time away from this, and it kind of burns me up, and I want to try to help to move on, to do better methodology, to find a better process. So I apologize if I'm going on. I can hear Donna in my ear going, "Come on, move on. You already answered the question. Keep going." All right, one more question, and we're going to go to our second break. Because we're going to hour 3. Macy Rose. Kenny, when you were a wee boy, did you believe in ghosts, Bigfoot, etc.? Yes, I did. Absolutely. I believed in ghosts and Bigfoot and UFOs and Loch Ness Monster and all kinds of things. Angels and demons and ghosts. Oh my. I believed in all of it. And as I grew up, the more I learned, the more I realized, like, I don't think these are real things. I think they're beliefs. And I went through a ghost hunting phase where I still believed it. Not everything, but I still believed enough where I thought, you know, that random noise was made by a ghost. That random shadow was made by a ghost. So the more I learned about that, the more I learned about acoustics, the more I learned about video editing and photography and the equipment, actually learned what the equipment does and what it's supposed to be used for and how to interpret it, the more I realized I was making a lot of mistakes. So I improved, I tried to improve, and I try to improve every day. So there we go. We are at hour 2. We're going into hour 3. We're going to take our third break here. And I'm going to try and I gotta find something else to drink. We got so many questions. We're going to go for a little bit more, probably another hour, but Tim's going hour 4. So we'll see what happens. You guys keep asking questions. I hope you're enjoying it. All right. So let me see. Where's my third hour? The Donna theme song, which is now the official theme song for going into hour 3, even though she doesn't like it. Here we go. So I'll see you back here in 2 minutes and 35 seconds from now.
In the skeptical help bar, there's a guiding star, keeping checks in line. She's the queen of the bar, with a wink and a smile. She keeps things flowing. Divine Donna's on the scene to keep you from trolling. Divine Donna, watch her keep the show on track. Moderates with flair, she's got your back. With her love, Kenny Biddle, every Friday night. In the skeptical help bar, she's a delight. Start questions with a capital Q, so Donna can pose them for you. Follow the Swayze rule and be nice, or she'll kick you out for life. Divine Donna, watch her keep the show on track. Moderates with flair, she's got your back. With her love, Kenny Biddle every Friday night. In the skeptical help bar, she's a delight. Rarely says a word, unlike her hubby. Doesn't let the show run into hour 3. She may be quiet, but she reads all the chats. So say hi, or thanks, she deserves that. Divine Donna, watch her keep the show on track. Moderates with flair, she's got your back. With her love, Kenny Biddle every Friday night. In the skeptical help bar, she's a delight. Rarely says a word, unlike her hubby. Doesn't let the show run into hour 3. She may be quiet, but she reads all the chats. So say hi, or thanks, she deserves that. Divine Donna, watch her keep the show on track. Moderates with flair, she's got your back. With her love, Kenny Biddle every Friday night. In the skeptical help bar, she's a delight. In the skeptical help bar, she's a delight.
All right. Woo. I can't believe how many questions we have. Holy shit. Oh, this is great. I love it. I love it. All right. We're going to try and get to as many as possible. I can't guarantee that we're going to get to all of them just because there's so many. So, all right, let's try to shotgun some of these. Macy Rose, Kenny. Oh, wait, we answered this. We answered this one. Ooh. Slacking. How's that coffee doing, Tim? You guys don't see it, but like the way my screen is set up, on the bottom there's little thumbnails that I can see, like my feed, which is this feed here, but I can also see Tim and in the background, and who's waving at me now, so I can see when he gives me the finger. That's some of the comments. Anyway, Julia, what's up? Is there any room for collected evidence after a valid... Wait, is there any room for collected evidence after a field investigation to be plausible? Asking for a friend. So, yeah, I mean, plausibility comes from analyzing the data, looking at the data and saying, hey, look, what do we have here? What's good? What's not good? What can be validated? And what does it mean? So if something is plausible, you can have ideas. We can speculate, and there's that plausibility from speculation where it's you can talk about it, you can talk it out and think, oh, well, maybe this will be good. Maybe this, and you do pretty much a thought experiment on whether something is plausible or not. But then it really comes to the data. What does the data say? And excuse me, for me, like you really, and I think for most people that trust in science to investigate, it's follow the data. Wherever the data leads you, that's the conclusion you go to. So if something is plausible, it would have to be based on data. So yeah, I mean, I think as far as your question is there any room? Yes, there absolutely is. And then sometimes when you are left with I don't know. I mean, that's it. That's what I'm trying to get to. Like sometimes you were just left with the idea of, I don't know. And then what is plausible? What is not? Again, we don't know unless it's based on the data. So good question. I don't know if I answered it correctly, but that's the best I can do right now. So hopefully you liked it. Hopefully. Oh, I got a little curl going. What is this going on? Get back up there. Get up there. Damn it, Bob is in the house. Did you ever imagine that one day you'd be so famous that someone would write a song about you? That paraslip status apparently carries a lot of importance. Damn it, Bob. So, no. I am so humbled. You have no idea. Like, Donna has an idea because I sit here and dance to these songs. I was so impressed because I think this was Beardo. This wasn't me that asked for them. Beardo, when I was on his show on YouTube. So if you don't know who Beardo is, go to Beardo Gets Scared on YouTube. I love the guy. I think he's a phenomenal entertainer, and he looks into things. He debunks a lot of stuff. Really good content creator. But he had said something about I needed a theme song, and the next morning I woke up. Two people had reached out and said, "Here's songs we wrote," which is my opening and the first break, which is awesome. And then I had mentioned later on that I was like, "Well, I got I got an intro and a break song. I need an outro video now, an outro song." And I got an outro song, which was awesome. And I it's humbling. Like, it's funny. I do laugh at it sometimes because they say my name a lot, and it's weird saying my name, but it's also so cool. It is so cool because I'm like, oh, look, yeah. Chief investigator. Yeah, that's right. I love these songs. They make me feel good, and it humbles me because it makes me appreciate that people are taking an interest in what I do. And what I have done has had an impact on the people that are watching, and that makes me feel so proud. I mean, I couldn't be prouder. That's the whole point of what I'm doing, is to have a positive impact on the people that I talk to and reach out to. So if I'm having a positive effect on you, then mission accomplished, and I'm going to keep going, because the more I can do that we can work together and figure out things, the better. So good question, Bob. That was awesome. Yeah. And yes, I do rock out to my songs. Kenny, has anyone ever admitted to you that they started a certain ghost rumor? That they started a certain ghost rumor? Huh. So yeah, the first one that comes to mind is Kevin Manis, who created the Dybbuk box story. He came on this show, as a guest. I reached out to him because he did an interview with somebody. I think I did an article. Did I do an article? I did an article on the Dybbuk box, and then that was out. Somebody else contacted Kevin about like a year or so later and interviewed him, and he talked about making up the story. So I had Kevin come on the show, and he admitted that he had made it up. And it was actually really cool. I mean, I don't think he realized the impact he had on people, because to him, I think it was more of a story that he was just having fun with. He was a storyteller. He made up stories. He was like an actor kind of thing. He recorded different stories. And to realize like he had such an impact. It wasn't just a thing to be popular, because like I related an experience that I had with a woman at a paranormal conference, where she had a very negative experience concerning the Dybbuk box. And it didn't happen to her personally. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm supposed to follow certain rules with this. So her son, she went and apparently touched the Dybbuk box in Zach's museum. And then like a week or so later, her son took his own life. And for a year or so, she blamed herself, thinking that the curse of the Dybbuk box was the reason that her son did that. And then she came to a conference in Gettysburg where Tim and Dave were at. So Tim Vickers they were at there, and Dave Schumacher was at, and she came up to the booth. I have a big poster board, one of those trifold poster boards that opened up with pictures and information about the Dybbuk box. She asked about it, I gave her the whole rundown of the timeline of how the story came about up until like him admitting that he made up the entire story. And she started crying. And I was like, what did I do? Like, I thought I did something wrong. And she told me the story about her son and that she carried around this guilt for over a year, like a year and a half or something, because she thought it was her fault that her son did that because she touched the box. And she was relieved that she finally learned the truth behind the story and that it wasn't her fault. So that's the kind of impact. And I related that to Kevin when he was on the show. And I think that really bothered him because his whole demeanor changed once I said that. Because I also think I was getting like intense with that, because that's telling ghost stories is one thing. Believing in ghost stories is one thing. You know, like you can have fun with it, but when you have such an impact where you fuck with somebody's life like that, like I do get intense, you know, like I really do get protective maybe of it, and angry that such a thing was allowed to go so far. That this poor woman took the guilt of her son doing that because of some stupid fucking story. So yeah, that was a shame. But I'm hopefully she's doing better now. Now that she knows the truth and she's moving on. So hopefully. All right, moving on. Wisdom on the break video. What was up with the picture with all the fake beards? Oh, so that is that's for James Randi. We have these are like 1960s glasses kind of thing. Like I look a lot like my father. That's weird. So let me see. I don't think I can reach that. Let me see. If I fall down, make sure you get the clip of the video. All right. So I think what you're referring to is this. So this, as it says, it's a James Randi tribute. So this was one. This was 2017. James Randi was still alive. I really need a haircut. And what we did was everyone had. Let me see if I can get close in there. So we had these fake beards. So that's me. There's Donna. And they had a whole bunch of them, and we put them on because that's what James Randi's beard looks like. And we put them on and did a whole big picture because it was a tribute to James Randi, because he's one of the fathers of modern skeptical movement. So we did that for him. And Susan Gerbic had the picture taken and blew it up into a big poster size, which we then presented to James Randi, and he loved it. He thought it was a great idea. So it was fun. It was one of I think it was our second conference, and it was nice to be able to participate in that kind of thing. Oh my gosh, I'm burping. Sorry. Woo. All right. So what else we got? Drew Kenny. Moving on. Damn it, Donna. Boo Productions. What's up, Jeff? Have you seen the documentary Parasense, The Naked Experiment? If so, what are your thoughts? If not, you should watch it. Oh my God. That sounds like, is that anything like Naked and Afraid? Because I don't want to watch it. Parasense, The Naked Experiment. Is it really? Is it like? I'm looking for confirmation whether it's like Naked and Afraid. Because if it is, I don't want to see ghost hunters naked. Because we're not a handsome bunch. I'm scared to Google that. The Naked Experiment. Was it Experiment? Yeah. Okay. Experiment. I got a lot of homework. Good thing I got 2 weeks before the next show. I'm gonna Google it. Oh man, there goes my browser history. Time to erase it. Parasense, The Naked experiment. It's so dumb. Let's see. What is this? The naked experiments. What does this say? That's not a good description. Let me see. The naked experiments, Rotten Tomatoes. Let's share this torture together. Two investigators come together to see if they can prove physical touch from a ghostly experience. They look naked. In the box, let's see. Amazon. I mean, he looks naked. I'm trying to find a description. There's no descriptions. What the hell? IMDb. That's it. Investigators Ross Allison, ghost hunter, and Chad Goodwin, scientist, come together to see if they can prove physical touch from a ghostly presence. Is there a clip? Storyline. Oh, join paranormal veteran. Sound familiar, Tim? Let's see. Ross Allison, as he focuses his attention on the physical aspects of ghosts actually touching the living. His struggle to prove this phenomena takes a crucial turn when a real scientist and inventor, Chad Goodwin, joins his team as they take naked subjects into the most haunted sites known for supernatural physical contact. For the first time in history, these encounters are being thoroughly investigated and exciting evidence. I'm sure it's exciting. Evidence is being discovered. Oh my God. Oh, there is nothing new in Hollywood. Seriously. Hey, what are we going to do? I don't know. Let's do a ghost hunting show and make them naked. Like, at least they're not, because it looks like naked subjects and not naked ghost hunters. Because again, like we are not a handsome bunch, so I would not want to see a bunch of us naked running around. So I have not seen it, Jeff. I don't want to. I really don't want to. But maybe I'll watch one this weekend and I'll give you an idea. When did that start? 2022. Hour and a half. Oh, so it's documentary. Okay, yeah. Cat Mac, glad Donna is here to see this so she doesn't think he was looking up pervy things. Yes, I know. I mean, my browser history has some weird shit in it. And that's because like different paths that I have to go down to research, I'm like, this is going to be bad. This is going to bring up all kinds of Google. And you know what? Sometimes I'm worried because like if I'm home with my laptop and we're looking up stuff for crafting and we have an idea and Donna's like, oh, look it up. And I start typing into Google and I'm thinking like, what's going to pop up? Like when you start typing into Google, you know how it drops down and gives you all the suggestions of past histories. I'm like, what the fuck is going to pop up? She's going to see something. She's going to see like the naked experiments and be like, what the hell are you watching? So yes, I'm glad that she's here too. Here's my attorney, Tim Vickers. I need to advise you to stop admitting your browser has weird stuff. Oh my God. Oh, you guys are so fun. All right. Gosham. Am I saying that right? Gosham or Gosham? Gosham. I'm going to go with Gosham. Have you read Beyond the Paranormal by Ben and Paul Eno? Beyond the Paranormal. I don't think so. On the Paranormal. I'm writing it down though, so I can Ben and Paul Eno, so I can look it up and see what it is. But you had it right, Goshen. Okay, good. So yeah, I don't recall that. It doesn't seem like something I have read before, so I don't think I have. But I wrote it down. I'll take a look. I'm going to try and shotgun some of these questions so that I can get through them. Jonathan Michael, John Michael, do you still have that device that Mitch Silverstein created for dowsing rods to ensure they can't be manipulated? Yes, I do. It is in the display case that's right outside my door here. I actually have 2 of them now. He gave me, because he came up to visit, him and Steph came up to visit a few months back, and he had one left over. So he brought it up, and it was slightly different. I think it was I think it was an earlier version, which is great. I mean, I love it. So it's out there. I have his picture next to it because he was the creator, and I still have it. I still take it with me all the time to conventions and stuff like that. I set it up at my booth so that people can try it and see, like, there is a problem with that, with the way dowsers think that it works. So yeah, I still have it, and I still love it. Still love it. All right, cool. Moving on. That was good. That was quick. See, Donna, I can do quick questions. John Michael. Oh, wait. Wait. This is an extended version? Is that an extended? Oh, okay. Maybe not. What would it take for you to say that it is paranormal, or that might just be a spirit? Cree Storm. It would take a lot. So currently the stuff that we see promoted by ghost hunters in like YouTube and their websites and Facebook pages, social media and stuff like that is far below the bar of science, far below. It's open to misinterpretation, misperception, lots of mistakes. There are flaws in methodology. There's a lot that is wrong with how ghost hunters go about what they do. So I can't take anything that they provide as evidence because it's just so poorly collected and recorded. So with that said, what would it take for me? I think it would go back to the earlier question about if like an apparition popped up in front of me, to be able to reach out, try to touch it, poke. Speaking of browser history, poke it, ask it questions, see if it responds. And I'm saying it because I don't know if the entity would be considered a he or she at this point in its stage of evolution or ascension, for my Stargate friends out there. I don't know. So I'm not just going to say that something is a spirit or that something is paranormal, because paranormal, again, that like paranormal is a blanket term. It's a huge blanket, like almost a planet-sized blanket that's put on top of things that some people can't explain. I mean, there's things where if you don't have enough knowledge, especially like photography, I come across that all the time where somebody has a photograph, they don't know what it is, and they call it paranormal. And then they show it to me, and I immediately recognize it as lens flare or a long exposure or this and that, because I'm familiar with the topic. I'm knowledgeable in the topic, and I can identify what's in the picture. So that's what the problem is when it goes to so many in the community are amateurs, and they don't really take the time to learn about the methodology, techniques, and knowledge behind what they're supposed to be investigating. It's more, I watch TV, I see what they do, I'm going to do what they do on TV, and that's it. And that's a very poor methodology overall. So I hope that answered your question. I'm not sure if it did, but I'm going to go with that. Goshen, Kenny, I mistyped. It's called Behind the Paranormal. Everything you know is wrong. Paul and Ben. Okay. Researchers and authors, they have an interesting take on all things. Okay, so Behind the Paranormal. Everything you know is wrong. It's weird. Like titles like that all often make me laugh, because it's like, is it what I think is wrong, or is what the other person with the opposite views think is wrong? Like, what do you mean everything that I know is wrong? You sure? Like, I know Star Wars is better than Star Trek. You can't tell me any different. Is wrong. I'm still writing because I'm writing slow. I'm going to circle this. I'm going to bring it over to this so I have notes. All right. Good. Ready to go. Jenny Twigs. Question number 2. Awesome. Have you looked into the use of a manometer? What's a manometer in ghost hunting? Just recently learned about it myself. A manometer. Is that to measure how manly we are? I'm sorry. The rum's getting to me. Let me see what this is. This is new. I don't know manometer. What is that? A manometer is measuring instrument that measures the pressure of a fluid or gas in a confined space, such as a boiler. That's right, Jim. Let's see. It indicates the pressure relative to the atmospheric pressure. A manometer can only check the inner pressure of a cylinder, not the outer pressure. There are 2 types of manometers, analog and digital. So based on that just description of it, I don't see how it would be used, because it's measuring the pressure inside of a cylinder, not inside of a room. So I don't see any reason to use this on a ghost hunt. If someone can come up with a reason why and what the results might mean, then it'd be interesting to talk about. But I see no reason for this to be used. Oh, Bob says manometers were used a lot on Parasense, the naked experiment. It measures a male ghost. Wait, what? What? Damn it, Bob! You got me. You got me, Bob. We got to figure out how to ban him. Get him out of here. So yeah, I really don't. I'm looking at it. It just looks like a pressure gauge. That's all. That's exactly what it is. Oh, measures pressure of, yeah, it's a pressure gauge for fluid or gas in a cylinder. So yeah, I see no reason to use it on a ghost hunt. I mean, to measure atmospheric pressure would be something worthwhile. Like I would definitely do that, but for this, when it's supposed to be in a contained cylinder, then no, I don't see any reason for it. So, but good question. Thank you. All right. What are we doing? What time is it? Oh, wow. Can we have an hour 3 since Donna isn't here? We are in hour 3. We are 2 hours and 28 minutes into the show. But to be fair, like, we did 3 hours the last 2 shows, much to Donna's displeasure. Wisdom, wasn't the creation of moon written in legend to have occurred after beings were already on the planet? Not sure where I got the idea, thinking something I have seen or read. Oh, okay. As far as I know, I have not read anything like that. I think it was because I might be wrong on this, but as far as I know, the moon was created because there was an impact with Earth, and the resulting debris formed the moon. That's as far as I know with that. Let's look it up real quick, because I want to make sure how I gotta type right. Was the moon formed? Thank you, Google, for bringing it right up. Most widely accepted theory for the formation of the moon is that it was created by a collision between Earth and a Mars-sized object called Theia, about 4.5 billion years ago. Yeah. So that's yeah, I was right. Awesome. There you go. Question answered. That was quick. Boom. And I even looked it up, and I was still quick. I don't think that's a good thing. Macy Rose, Kenny. Love that you raised your hand. If you could attend any lecture, who would be talking, and what would the subject be? So this depends on whether it's a alive or dead scenario. So I would love to attend a lecture by Harry Houdini. I would absolutely love that. I mean, I think that would be great. And the topic would be just escape artists, escape artist skills. I would learn to love. Wow, holy shit! I would love to learn. I've had enough rum. I think hour 3 is getting to me. Shut up, Tim. I see him in the back. Like, yeah. I would love to learn about his lock picking techniques. I mean, because the man could get out of anything. It would be amazing to listen to him talk, to pass on some of that knowledge. That would be amazing. But if it was somebody alive, that's hard, because I get the opportunity to listen to some people that I would love to listen to. Neil deGrasse Tyson, Penn and Teller, Brian Cox. They're coming up this year. But I've listened to them in the past. I've gotten to listen to a lot of great speakers that have influenced me, that have done really good work. So I don't think there's really anyone living that I haven't heard that I would want to, because I have had the opportunity to listen to all of them lecture. So I'm very fortunate in that scenario. So, but good question. Harry Houdini definitely would be my top choice, though. Julia, would you believe it if you had a precognitive dream? That's difficult to answer because, I mean, I don't usually remember my dreams. It's very rare that I remember anything. Usually, I mean, I don't sleep a lot, so I'm sure I dream because we dream, but I don't remember anything. I can't tell you the last dream that I can remember. So if I might have had precognitive dreams already, but I just forget when I wake up. So they're kind of useless. I guess it depends on how detailed it would be. And I would have to do exactly what I do with any kind of mystery and investigate it, write down what I remember. And that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't want to rely on retrofitting. If I wake up in the morning and still have a memory of a dream, I would want to write it down at the moment, like write down everything that I can remember, because that's the best chance I have of getting the most accurate interpretation of what I remember. And then if something comes about that matches it, let's see how closely it matches. Is it general? I mean, because there's so many things. Like, if I dream that there's an earthquake somewhere, chances are there is going to be an earthquake at some point. So I wouldn't consider that precognitive. So it really depends on the details and how closely it matches real life, and go from there. So good question. I like that. They're making me think. You guys are making me think. My head's going to hurt tonight. Wisdom. Can black mold be a hallucinogen after prolonged exposure? I believe so, but we're going to verify, because that's what we do here. Can black mold cause hallucinations? Yes, toxic black mold can cause hallucinations. Black mold produces what is that? Mycotoxins, MYCO toxins, which are neurotoxins that can lead to a variety of neurological symptoms, including hallucinations. Other symptoms of exposure to toxic black mold include brain fog, dizziness, mood swings, anxiety, depression, seizures, numbness. So, according to Google, yes, that is one of the symptoms that can come about from black mold. And if you are concerned about it, like, I would definitely take care of it, because it is a problem. There was a place that I went to, what was it? Wildwood Asylum that I went to, and there was white and black mold throughout the house. And I had called and complained, and the owner, I still have to check on the place because the owner said that they were going to clean it up. But I told him straight up, like, you need to clean this up. You need to stop having people in here until this is cleaned up, because you're no telling what kind of harm you're doing to visitors that are paying to be there. And it should never have gotten out of hand like that. When I'm talking like there was white and black mold, I'm talking like feet long on the wall. It was disgusting. Disgusting. So yeah, there you go. Answer. Yeah. Moving on. Ian, hey buddy. Good to see you. Have you simply tried studying the occult and raising the dead from their graves? Well, let me get my Necronomicon and see if I can raise the dead. No, I have not tried that. I mean, I've read up on the occult. I'm not by no means an expert, so don't start asking me questions about the occult. But raising the dead, I mean, I've seen all the movies. I know what happens when you raise the dead. I'm not going to do it. The person that doesn't always gets killed. I mean, there's no. That's just the script. They always get killed, so I'm not going to do it. I'll let Tim do it. Chris, like, do most people sit in your cursed chair you have at the center? Oh, yes. So, I think when you were here, I forget where it was. It used to be right out here in the reading room that we have right outside my office. It was roped off, and it has since moved down to the other end of the building where we're making a full-on museum, skeptical museum. So it's down there right now. It's still roped off, but you can sit in it. It's a apparently cursed chair. Well, it's a haunted chair. I would say more of it's a haunted chair. Apparently there's a spirit of the guy that gave it to me. His mother passed away, and he swore that the chair would rock by itself, and that when people sat in the chair, they felt like they were sitting on someone's lap, because like somebody was already sitting in the chair. So it's down there. People are free to sit in it and see if they feel anything. And I have pictures of people sitting in the chair. So it's still down there. And everyone that I do show, they sit. I think almost everyone. There was one person that said no. They felt creepy doing it. And it was more because I told them the story beforehand, not because they felt creeped out by the chair itself. So yes, it's still down there and available for anyone that takes the tour of the building. So come visit me. It's free. Lauro, are you new? That's also a name that I do not think I've said before, or maybe I have. I don't know. What does he say? Dolly Forever. Oh, cool. You've recommended several books that promote critical thinking. Are there any books that you particularly recommend to help practice these skills? Do you have any favorite pseudoscientific books? So I can answer the second question pretty easy. No, I don't like pseudoscientific books because I think they promote just bad methodology, bad science, and they create problems. The only good thing is that they keep me employed, because they promote so much bad science or stuff that's non-science that it keeps me on my toes about learning about it and being able to comment here and there on it. So, but with the first question, are there any books in particular that I recommend for practicing these skills? So I do. If you want, I have let me see, brand banners. I'm going to put my email up here at the bottom of the screen there. Send me an email. I will send you a list of books that I recommend. I have a whole list written out, and many of them go into critical thinking. And then some of them also, they don't necessarily say critical thinking, but they employ it. So like one of them is the asking the right questions. And it's a guide to critical thinking. It's a small book. I say small because it looks like a thin book, but it is packed. Where is it? Do I have it? Yeah. So this one here, that's one of my favorite books, is Asking the Right Questions by Neil Brown and Stuart Keeley. Really good book. But when I say it's packed, I mean, it's packed. It's jam-packed with information. This is also another book that I highly recommend, The Investigator Reporter's Handbook. I've learned so much from that. And then this is more along the lines of kids' books, but it's also got a lot of information. So that's relevant to everyone, kids of all ages, kids of all ages. So definitely I recommend this too. But yeah, send me an email and I will shoot you the whole list of books that I recommend. And then as I gather more, I'll add to the list. But there you go. All right. We're doing great. If you could ask Carl Sagan anything, what would it be? That's difficult because he was such an elegant speaker, and he provided so much in his answers. And I mean, when I say elegant, like that's not a word that I use a lot, but the way he spoke, I was just I'm always enthralled. I'm always like just hanging on his every word. I could sit there and listen to him all day. So when he explained something, he took into account that not everyone was a scientist. And it was beautiful the way he spoke. So when it comes to questions, he's answered so many questions. I don't know what I would ask him. Want a beer? like I don't know. Like that's my opening question. You want a beer? You want to hang out? Let's hang out. Sit on my back porch. Let's talk. Let's look up at the stairs. Tell me about the universe. Like tell me about this. Expand on your ideas about if life is out there. Maybe like there's so many little questions like that become bigger questions. So that's really good. That's a stumper. That's like putting me on the spot of like, what would you say to this person if you only have one question? Like, I don't know until the time is right. But yeah, probably my first question, it would be dumb because I'd be like, you want a beer? That's it. All right, moving on. Oh my God. Carl, have you ever said to yourself, I'm through with the paranormal? No, I've never said that. I've recognized sometimes where I have to just do something else for a little bit. Like I have several hobbies that have nothing to do with the paranormal. I love Comic-Cons. I watch Stargate, Star Wars, occasionally Star Trek. But I also, what do? I play video games once in a while, and I get lost in that. I paint. I like to paint once in a while. But I do realize like this is my job. This is what I do 24/7. I pretty much do this, whether across the board, aliens and cryptids and ghosts and hauntings, stuff like that. I'm always interested. It's just fascinating to me. So I have a love and passion for it. So it doesn't often get boring or overwhelming. Sometimes it does though. Sometimes there is so much and so many people are asking for something, questions or help with this or look at this. Sometimes it does get to a point where I'm like, I don't say I'm done with it. I say, you know what? I'm going to take a weekend and I'm not going to do anything that has to do with this. I'm going to go to a flea market. I'm going to go see a movie. I'm going to just hang out, do some crafting with Donna, do something like that. And that's it. And I don't think about work at all. So, but no, I'm never going to be done with it because I just love it too much. So good question though. Good question. All right. Chris Williams, Chris. My mouth is getting tired. So we're not going in hour 4. Kenny, if you ever had an alien in front of you, what do you think would be the very first question you would ask and why? First question, can I drive? Yeah. Can I drive? I want to drive that UFO. I want to drive it around. Where's the warp drive? Can we go to your home planet? Can I visit? What do you guys do for fun? Do you have a Stargate? You know, can you give me superpowers? Can you rewrite my DNA so I can fly? What's going on? And what's with the anal probing? There you go. Why? Because inquiring minds want to know. Sorta Ricken, hey, what's up, buddy? Kenny, what's your opinion of table tipping? To me, a lot can be explained from the back and forth motion and building of momentum. Also can depend on the base of the tables. Exactly. My opinion of table tipping is that it's completely false and fake and done by the people that are involved. I've done it myself. I've used a variety of tables, from 3-legged small tables, which I actually have one out here in the reading room, to card tables, to round tables, to different tables. Like there was a round table that was, you can't really tell how far apart this is, about like 2.5 feet, 3 feet wide, where I've done it. It's just simple momentum. It's gripping the table with your hand. You notice when you start practicing so much and paying attention, you can usually detect who's doing it by how much of a grip that they have on the table, and you can watch their fingers actually roll. So I'm going to try and demonstrate here. So if I have my fingers on the table, like this is the table. Actually, I should have something else. So here. So if I'm on the table like this and your hands are just sliding, they just slide. But if you have a grip on it, you can see that your fingers start to roll as you try to grip the table and move it. And once you start picking that up, you can figure out who's doing it. So I've done that a couple times. I've been able to call out people that are doing it. My Hinsdale House video on the Center for Inquiry YouTube channel, I called out somebody for doing that because I was able to zoom in on their hands and show you exactly what they were doing. So that was fun. He was not happy, but it was fun. Good question. What time is it? All right. Question. Julie R. How do airplanes fly upside down if it's the shape of the wings that make them fly? That is beyond my pay grade. I do not know. Let's see. How do planes fly upside? I mean, I would think that it's the shape, but if it's the shape, you flip it upside down, it's still going to do the same thing because you're still getting power from the engines, you're getting the thrust from the engines, and you also have flaps. So the flaps go up and down, and that would help too. I would think. I mean, this is not my area. Some planes are able to fly upside down because they are designed for it, or because the pilot alters the angle of attack. Angle of attack. What's that mean? Angle of attack is the angle between the wings chord line and the direction of the relative wind. A steeper angle generates more lift. All right. So, I mean, there's ways of doing it. Yeah, that's what it looks like. That's the short answer. This is not my area. So I apologize. That it's just not my area. Momentum. They can't fly upside down. There's a lot of answers coming in the chat. That's pretty cool. All right, moving on. Let's try and hit. We got about 10 minutes left, and I'm going to have to wrap it up. And we'll save your questions for the next show. So Carl says, what's your take on the Philadelphia experiment? I think it was a total hoax. I know for sure. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat. I know for sure that the Eldridge was not in Philadelphia. It was docked in New York. I have the logs for the ship, and I know exactly what they were doing. I know that they were nowhere near this. They were not doing the experiment at the alleged time. And there's a whole backstory to that. Hopefully we'll do a show on that once. Maybe we'll do that for Three Tortured Souls if we haven't done it already. Did we do that? Did we do that? No, we didn't. Okay. All right. We did. We did do it. Okay. I'm getting the thumbs up from Tim. Like, we did do it. So there should be an episode of Three Tortured Souls that we did that. We did on that, and we took a deep dive. So I will try and get that link and post it for you guys. So yeah, I think it was a total hoax. I have the annotated document downstairs. There was a book that was sent in to the Navy with notes, apparently from 3 different people, talking about, like different things. And when you actually look into the real story, there's only a very tiny section of notes in this book that mention, I think it's only one line, to be honest, that mentioned the Philadelphia experiment. So it's not as grand as the legend has made it out to be. It really isn't. It's very, very, very tiny, and unfortunately made up. So, all right, Cat Mac, I'm not done writing Tim's song yet. We can't do hour 4 without a song. Tim's going to get a song. Actually, I mean, Tim could use a song when he's subs, when he's in here for Donna. That would be good, because we can do an hour 3 song with Tim, who allows hour 3 and encourages hour 3, because that's what we do. He's giving me the 4. Have you ever watched the Adelaide Haunted Horizons? They did an Estes there that was amazing. Is this Idaho's most haunted place? Please check it out. It's different. Excuse me. Again, the Estes is not a valid method. It's just not. No matter how you try to spin it, it is not a valid method, because it is 2 separate tracks. The only reason they are being combined is because of a belief base, and a need to fit a square peg into a round hole. It just does not work. I mean, I'll certainly check it out if I have time, but unless they do a proper experiment with it, it's just not a valid method. And again, I think people are wasting their time doing this, because it's just useless. I don't know how else to say it, and I really can't go any further with it, because there's just nothing else to go into. So I don't mean to be mean to you, Cree, but I don't see invalidity to it, and any reason to keep talking about it. Well, except for when we do a review of that book that I mentioned earlier, because that comes up in it, and then you'll get my full wrath on that review. All right. Let's see. Wayne Dawson, is you're an out and out skeptic, do you believe the ghost stories that people tell you? So no, I don't believe the ghost stories they tell me. I listen to them and I consider them, and it really depends on what they're looking for. If they're just out to tell me a story, then, cool story. But if they're out to prove something, then I'll have some questions. I always have the questions to ask, but it's not about believing them. It's about them being able to provide sufficient evidence to back up their claim. Because I live by the rule, like, the burden of proof is on the one making the claim. So if they are coming to me saying, yes, I saw a ghost, then it is up to them to provide sufficient evidence to support that. If there isn't, there's no reason for me to believe it's true. It could be mistaken. It could be an honest mistake. It could be misperception, misinterpretation, all of this. And especially when you bring belief into it, there are so many bad beliefs out there that are just based on nothing, except somebody came up with an idea and said, hey, maybe this works. And instead of trying it and experimenting and doing a proper experimentation, the idea goes from, hey, maybe this works, to let's try this every time. And because it definitely works. That's this method. And it just becomes part of the toolkit. So, yeah, there you go. I think that's a good answer. Good answer. All right. With that, I think, all right. One more question. This is the last question. Last question. Everyone else, I apologize. We'll have to get to your questions next time. But yeah, we can take that last question if you have it. 2 more questions? All right. 2 more questions. Being told. Michael. Kenny Bizdle. Do you think DB Cooper's treasure will ever be found? I don't know. I mean, I remember like soon afterwards, some of the money was found. And then was it not too long ago, a couple years ago, I think a few of the bills were found. But as for the whole thing, I don't know. That's one of the things, like maybe it will. I'm gonna make a prediction, pure speculation, that somebody's gonna be hiking in the woods one day and they're gonna look up and they're gonna be like, that looks like a parachute and some straps. And they're gonna climb up and they're gonna find a duffel bag and they're gonna find all this money inside of it. And there you go. It's gonna be stuck in a tree somewhere. That's it, with a section of the duffel bag that's ripped. That's how the money that was found got out. So I don't know. I mean, it'd be cool. It'd be cool. I would love to go out there on an expedition. Just, I don't expect to find anything, but I would love to just go out there and do it. Tim Vickers. I'm only finding the body. Never saw the money. I don't know if they'd even find that, because if the guy didn't survive, like, he probably got eaten. Or after he was dead, his body probably went to the elements and is no more. So all right, last question. This is outro question. When Kenny should stop learning? When should you stop learning? Never stop learning. Never. I'm going to be on my deathbed and somebody's going to be like, how you feeling? I don't feel all right, but I'm seeing hallucinations. Can we Google what happens when you die? Because I need to know a little bit more. What am I getting into? What should I expect? Who am I going to see? All right. With that, I'm gonna stop it for the night, because I am getting tired. I have to get home. I do have a puppy that is probably waiting for me. Let me see. Banner. Let me turn the banner off. So let me go through announcements. Basically, let's see. This weekend I'm off. Next weekend, I will be at Benner's Run Campground. Let me see if I can pull up a link just in case anyone is in the area, because I'll be at a Bigfoot conference. What is going on? Come on. I hate when Google doesn't do what I want it to do and just does what I tell it to do, because sometimes I don't tell it to do the right thing. So I will be at the Pennsylvania Bigfoot Camping Adventure. It's a charity fundraiser event. It is Friday and Saturday, September 6th and 7th, from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday. I think I'm on at like 10:15 or something like that. I'm going to speak. I'm going to talk about investigating strategies. Where is it at? It is at... Where is it? I don't see where it's supposed to be. It doesn't actually tell you where it's supposed to be. That's weird. I know it's like Benner's Campground or something. I'm going to put the link in the chat and move on, because I don't want to. I hate dead air. It annoys me. All right, so I'm going to do that next weekend. And then let's see. What else do I have? That is September. And then I might be going on an investigation the following weekend. I'm not sure. But let's see. October 24th, 27th is SciCon. I'll be in Las Vegas, Nevada for our science convention, which is going to be awesome. I can't wait. I cannot wait. November 1st and 2nd, or no, November 2nd and 3rd will be Para-Unity in Woodbridge, New Jersey. I'll be out there setting up a booth. Donna will also be there with her Lucky Deaky Creations, and we're going to be having fun. We're going to have a lot of fun because that's always a good event. We have a lot of people. I usually have a lot of engagement with people because it's a paranormal conference and I'm the token skeptic. I'm the token. So lots of questions, lots of fun. Wisdom, not a question. Let people know about your slot on Boo Productions live stream tomorrow. Oh, yes. Tomorrow night, I will be. Where's my thing? So tomorrow night at 7 p.m., I will be on the YouTube channel Boo Productions. Boo Productions, is that it? What else is there? Because I know it's a longer name. Boo Productions live stream tomorrow. Yes, at 7 p.m. It is a live stream event. I think he's going, what did he say? Like 12 hours or something like that. And it's a charity to raise money for mental health awareness. So we're going to be, a bunch of speakers are going to be on, and I'm going to be on at 7 p.m. to talk. I don't know what we're talking about, but we're going to talk. And we'll go from there. So if you're available tomorrow night, check it out. Let me see. Let me share that. Let me find that Boo Productions because I want to. Paranormal Toledo. That's it. Paranormal Toledo. Boo Productions. Why isn't it coming up? Toledo. That's fun. Oh. That's because I'm spelling it wrong. That's why it's not coming up in my search. No, God, I gotta figure out what the hell I'm doing. I gotta do better. All right, so I'm gonna post a link in the chat if you're interested. You can check it out tomorrow night. There it goes. It's sending off, so it should be out with you guys soon. And then that's it for now. I think. I don't remember anything else coming up. Do I have any? Oh, last thing. Yes, this Wednesday coming up, 3 Tortured Souls. If you look for that on YouTube, you'll find our YouTube channel. We also have a Facebook page. That's me, Tim Vickers, and Dave Schumacher. We're going to be talking about Ouija boards and like getting into the history and stuff like that. Welcome to hour 4 when Kenny gets the giggles. We're going to be talking about that stuff and doing a deep dive. So hopefully everyone enjoys it. And that's it. With that, I'm going to say good night and try to get out of here and go home. And everyone say thanks to Tim Vickers for being in the background and doing a great job with getting questions up and organizing everything and just doing a good job. Good job, Tim. Good job. He's like, yeah, thumbs up. All right, everyone else, have a great weekend and have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And remember, never stop learning. See you in 2 weeks.
Hey, diddle diddle, here's a little riddle. Who's the best debunker? Is it Kenny Biddle? Oh, he's good, not just a little. Not at the bottom or even the middle. Strike a chord like a fiddle. Tasting the rainbow like a Skittle. That's fragile and brittle. You can watch him take a problem and start to riddle the problem away. He does not play. He takes his job so seriously. He loves a challenge and won't turn you away. It's such a skeptic, he keeps stones believers exposing the fake. It wouldn't take him long to find a needle in hay. Use a magnet, damn it. Now take a drink of Kenny's specialty. Someone may say that's not for me. To each their own, will be. Man, Kenny's such a skeptic, drinking skeptical tea. Like and subscribe, everybody turn notifications on. And go watch his show and forget about this song. Mr. Wizard or Bill Nye the Science Guy, can you remember? You'll like any better, so head to the Skeptical Help Bar and meet the bartender. Pick up a drink and relax, cause nobody does this better. Not even close, not even a little. He's the one and only Kenny Biddle.